Informative and local news talk continues at 3 p.m. with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's the Kimmer Show, only on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
What a season. The boys are giving us plenty to celebrate, but if you've celebrated a little too hard after a win and ended up in jail, you need A Second Chance bail bonds. We handle bonds from the stadium to the city, and in most cases, we can have you or your loved one out in a matter of hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
When I first started using a CPAP, getting supplies and equipment was a horrible hassle. It pretty much stayed that way until I discovered CPAPs, etc.com. Same-day shipping on anything you might need, including travel CPAPs, hoses, masks, you name it. Same-day shipping. CPAPsETC.com or visit their store in Alpharetta. So easy, and you could be preserving your health and saving your life.
Babe, can you knock out my honey-do list today?
Oh, I know. I told you I'd get to it this weekend.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalomia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. I can't fix your marriage, but I can fix your house. With our handyman for a day service, we'll handle those drywall patches, that door that won't latch, the leaky faucet, and the wood rot all around your house. The whole punch list, done fast, done right. You keep your weekend, she gets the house done. Everybody wins. Book your handyman for a day at thetrustedtoolbox.com. One call, one handyman, one day, the Trusted Toolbox.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Friday, July 24th, and here are your headlines. A U.S. Secret Service agent assigned to Vice President J.D. Vance's security detail is under investigation for allegedly leaking sensitive operational information. The Secret Service says the agent is facing an administrative investigation and possible criminal inquiry, adding that any conduct that could jeopardize a protectee's safety will not be tolerated. The federal government is increasing the standard millage reimbursement rate for people who use their personal vehicles for work. Officials say the changes reflect rising gas prices and is intended to help offset higher driving costs. And finally, Georgia's chronic absenteeism rate has fallen to a new post-pandemic low, with 17.7% of students missing 10% or more days of school. State education officials say schools are using attendance data to identify why students miss class and have found personal outreach to families is more effective than automated calls. Grab an umbrella on your way out the door this morning, with rain expected for most of the day, with a high of 82 and a low of 73. With your Extra 106.3 headlines, I'm Bryce Gobert.
Now, I'm guessing, Los, that my Aunt Peg, my sweet Aunt Peg, is so fired up because Donald Trump was in Marietta. Did you see him? He had a bus with his name on it. He's the devil. I bet he has horns and a tail. Yeah, I can hear it now because she has TDS.
I would like to think about how when I'm sitting there with my feet up on the couch and when I'm not painting, and I'm watching a Braves game.
Which is rare lately, by the way.
Which is rare lately. And I'm enjoying a Braves game. Or, you know, especially when it happens on the weekend and there's the weirdness of having one of the leftists who love listening to this show hate listening, and they'll send something over to you and I, and they're like, why don't you comment on this? And my first thought is, well, I'm watching the game, brother, and that's going to cost you.
Things going.
Yeah, I immediately just think, You really think about this all the time, don't you?
You cannot escape it. I mean, it is eating you from the inside out.
It's your own problem. It's not mine. I was like, you're only doing it because the amount of hatred that is coursing through your body you can't control. And so I go to Bill Maher on this one. And Bill Maher had something very simple to let everyone know that when it comes to Trump derangement syndrome, which is real, Bill Maher is telling you it's on you.
If at this point, 10 years into the Trump situation, you are still obsessing about his personality, my view is that's on you. Should we always be criticizing, as I do, what he actually does while he's in office? Absolutely. But to keep just focusing on these personality things that we've talked about for 10 years, they're not going to change. That's who he is. I don't care when he calls me names now. It's like the way he does it. It's the way he talks. It's who he is. Of course he's going to hang a tarp on the building. He does these things which you can't even imagine. If you tried your hardest, what is he going to do now? Tarp on the building would never have come to me, but he is always going to do it. And when he does it, I just got to go, okay. Well played. This is what you do. And as long as it's something that doesn't really affect me or other people, for real. I don't care about your reflecting pool. I don't care about your ballroom. I don't care what you do on the lawn. You can have UFC fights. You can have sheep grazing there like one president did. You can do anything. You pickleball. I don't give a what you do on the lawn. And if you're a person who does, you're just way too into Donald Trump as the person who controls how you think in life. Everything is about him. I'm not going there with you. You know, and I'm winning. And I'm somebody he attacks personally. And I care less than you do. Your life is all about Donald Trump. Mine isn't.
That dude is so high. Whoever Bill Maher's talking to is so high.
Well, and here's the compliment of it all, Tug. Because these people who choose to listen in the way that they do, and your Aunt Peg and everybody else, and they're as upset as they are on a normal basis, they're upset at Donald Trump. The only one that they can get to or respond to is you.
That's right, yeah.
So their obsession just continues. It's like, as you're sitting, poolside on Saturday, and you're like, why do they continue to send this stuff over? I haven't even done a show in 24 hours. I haven't even thought about politics in probably 36 hours. It's because their obsession is still active.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. And the crazy thing about it all is that
they do it for free.
They do it for on top of that, yes, they do it for free. But Bill Maher, I think he's trying to gently let them down. Like he walks them. That sounded like let me hold your hand and help you feel better about all this. Yeah. And then that dude that's really high. Yeah.
I just think that he's to the point now where at his maturity level, he's like, why am I going to let you dictate my entire day?
Right. Why? Why in the world would you allow that? There's nothing that upsets me that bad. Like if I hear something, see something, and I'm like, man, that sucks. I hate to hear that. Dude, I move on. I'm like, what am I going to do about it?
Yeah, that's too bad. Okay.
That's awful. I hate that. That's all right. Next. I mean, I got other things I got to take care of, the things that are in front of me, the things that actually affect my life directly. And I don't think they do, man. And my sweet Aunt Peg is retired, so she just sits around and dwells on it nonstop, always. And I see it coming out in the other relationships that she has. Like she'll get upset about something, and she has that same type of grudge that she has against Trump, against her own family.
Let me tell you, and this is why when I said the other day, I was like, hey, my mom's an idiot. The other day, when we had the man who was shot in Texas by ICE agents, it turns out he was carrying drugs and he was here illegally. And, hey, just don't resist any of this stuff, man. When that happened, I had joked around about how much painting I was doing. And my mom was like, well, you should have found some people that don't speak English to come in and help. I was like, yeah, that probably would help me out. She's like, but then ICE would have shot him.
Okay.
She couldn't
Yeah.
help herself.
Yeah.
And so that immediately just caused me to be like, all right, Mom, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Have a good one. And I just kind of hung up on her because I didn't want to indulge in it.
Right, because it's so silly. I'm not going to revel in it with you because that's what they're looking for, that interaction. They're looking for that response.
That's your crazy.
Yeah.
That's not my crazy.
Sweet Aunt Peg's got it too, man. It is identical. And that's how you know it's TDS. It's identical.
It's there all the time. Me, baby, I got my feet up.
That's right.
Come on.
And look at those walls, how great they look.
And look at our walls, man. I'm going to send you some pictures. I'm going to send both you and Bryce some pictures. I got my fans in. I got a fan for the first time above the desk where I'm at right now. The home studio is finally coming together.
Did you put it up?
No.
Oh, well, no, because we talked about it. I wasn't sure.
No, had a
awesome.
company.
Okay,
had a company
that's
that
great.
came on out.
But
MMI,
you
thanks for helping out with that. Yeah,
that's great.
Little work that was done in the house, and so appreciate it. Got now fans. Finally,
There you go. I've seen that. I've seen that handiwork with the paint. It looks good. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3 Tug and Los until 10. Donald Trump was here. There was a now Gold Star family that traveled along with him. Very touching moment after they had the dignified transfer at Dover Air Force Base in Delaware. So there was a lot of those moving moments throughout the day. I'd even seen something out of the airport in Raleigh, North Carolina, where people in the in the terminal just waiting on their flight. They had seen the dignified transfer of the remains of a soldier, flag draped coffin, and they just all paused, and just showed their respect. You could hear a little bit of rumbling, but most people were kind of focused in on what was happening, and just the how sensitive those moments are, and to see it happen, right in front of your face. It's one thing to see it on TV. But when you see it happening right out the window of the airport you're in, I can only imagine that would be a touching, sad, patriotic. There's all kinds of emotions that would run through you.
Yeah, I don't know where I would begin. It deserves your observance.
Yeah,
for whatever reason that it does. Whatever your reason that it's hitting you in a way, it deserves it.
Yeah, and so good for the people that did. And then when Donald Trump invited that family to come on down to Atlanta on the jet with him was remarkable. There was that was a good rally from what I saw. I was under general anesthesia for some of it at the dentist's office. So from what I recall,
So I was on the drugs, and there was a lot going on.
And then every now and then I'd look down at my phone when they were changing out needles and changing out utensils to gouge my jaw and gum line. I would glance down at my phone and see that the things were happening. But our friend of show, Greg Dolezal, spoke. Friend of show, Rick Jackson spoke. And then Mike Collins, of course, was kind of the focus, really, of the rally there to begin with. And, he was on earlier this week. It's I'm hoping that that momentum will translate and Mike Collins will catch fire and it make a difference. Because that's what we need. We have to have a Senate that will make a difference for people in Georgia and across the United States. And I'm not sure that Jon Ossoff has done that in his time in office, aside from the fact that it's illegitimate to begin with. But
don't say that, Tug.
Oh, sorry.
It was the most safest and securest election in the history of the country.
You're right. I'm crazy.
No, I would say this, and I think this will lead right into our segment. Donald Trump is so popular amongst his base that him showing up in person can only help you.
Yes, I agree with it, and that's showing up in the numbers too. Let's go by the numbers now.
But I'll be all right as long as there's light from a math dude. Most people don't like math; they run from the sun.
Los, you want to jump in on this one because Los is the numbers guy on the show. I mean, he's the guy that takes, these really complicated mathematic equations that they do in the NFL and makes them make sense to regular folks like you and me.
I feel like we talk about Harry Enton nearly the same way every time, in part because his job on CNN is to kind of like throw cold water on everything. And that could be on the job market numbers. It could be on what are the views when it comes to polling on the direction of the country. It was regular. Under the Biden administration, he'd be like, I know we're saying this. Here's what America is saying. And they're looking at being crushed in 2024. Like, he was one of the first people that had viewers at CNN going, what the hell? I thought Joe was doing good.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
it's
That's what everybody else is saying.
He kept on saying, it's like they're heading for a monumental defeat if Joe is the leader in this party. So Harry Enton has some cred here. Well, one of the aspects that he has tracked is presidential popularity. And he has gone through the numbers, and he does this at least once a week. But the one that he'll go back to, and I believe it's telling, because when a president loses their base, that's when they lose their power.
Yeah.
It's not when the numbers say, well, the approval rating's at 40%. It's at 39%. What's his base? What is his base number? Because his base number means that those people aren't going anywhere or they're happy. When they're unhappy, you're out the door. That's how it works. I want you to listen to Harry Enton as he goes through that base for Trump voters versus some of the previous presidents.
21st century own party approval rating, about at this point in the second term. We got Trump, we got Obama, we got Bush. Look, they're all fairly popular, but the one who is the most popular, and we have seen this time in and time out, no matter when you look, is Donald John Trump. He's the only one who's over 80%. 83% of Republicans still approve of the job that Donald Trump is doing as president. He still has that magic touch. We'll see if it carries over to South Carolina, but we've seen it in primaries this year, Senate primaries, and that is because he is still a very popular man, historically popular, when it comes to his own party liking and approving of the job that he's doing.
And I agree with that, Los. It's not shocking to me at all, because I genuinely think the man cares about the country and wants what's best for the country. And I think the decisions he makes are based on that loyalty to the American flag. When I think about the other presidents, at the time I might have thought that, but looking back on them, I think less and less of it. The further I get away from it, the further it is in the rear view when I can see it more clearly. I mean, I always thought Obama despised the country. There was never a moment in his presidency that I thought he genuinely loved America. I was convinced the Bushes liked the United States, but
they were always under the belief that the country existed for them to rule.
Absolutely right, and they did, and now. You know, when I see the Bushes gathered with the Obamas and the Clintons, I was like, oh, yes, that is a picture of the uniparty. That's what we talk about all the time. And it took an outsider like Donald Trump to shake it up so much that those folks have been pushed together like cattle. You know, they stay herded up. They're always together. They're always photographed together. And I disagree with them on everything. I disagree with Donald Trump on some things. But I think the things he does is because he believes they will benefit America. And it's not that way on the other side.
I believe that this is a rarity that happened in the state of Georgia because Trump-backed candidates win, and the number is something silly. It's like
it's way 90, up there.
Like 94 out of 96 opportunities in the last like several years. And I think that if we asked Rick Jackson would probably be able to pull out the receipts and say, this is what I had to spend to beat that with Burt Jones.
Yeah. Well, and the number, what like $100 million or something? I mean, it's a big number.
I mean, let's just say this. Off the record conversation, Rick Jackson spent a crazy ton of money and was looking around going like, all right, so there are going to be more. I guess what I would go to and point out is that just because we didn't see that carry Burt Jones because the amount, again, maybe it's $100 million that was spent. All right, what happens when you have that kind of money, because the RNC does, with the backing of Donald Trump? That's the number that Harry Enton's basically giving you. It's that if he's backing you and you got the armament, I think you're going to be in pretty good shape. Now, that remains to be seen with what happens as far as the money available to somebody like Mike Collins. But I think Rick Jackson's in pretty good shape when it comes to this race.
Yeah. I just did a quick Google search, and AI Overview says $108 million on his campaign in the primary. The vast majority of those funds, more than more than $111.5 million were self-financed from his personal fortune, making it one of the most expensive gubernatorial primaries in United States history, not just Georgia history.
Not just Georgia history.
U.S.
ever.
history. Because Burt Jones had the Donald Trump endorsement. And it was crazy because Rick, every time he came in, he said, I'm going to be Donald Trump's favorite. When I'm elected governor, I'm going to be his favorite governor. And he told us, he was with Donald Trump the day that the Iran war started. He was
Mar-a-Lago.
The weekend before the primary. He was at a fundraiser with Donald Trump in Virginia. So there's always been that relationship there. I think that will translate well on Rick's behalf, especially with him being able to speak. That will probably bring some of those Rick Jackson voters those Burt Jones voters that maybe were on the fence a little bit. I think that eliminates that.
I hear this all the time, right? And it always sounds, I'll never vote for so-and-so. And then we get actually to the election, you're like, it's between him and Keisha Lance Bottoms. I think I know what I'm doing here.
Yeah, burn the city down, or a guy that built a company to, billions and billions, a $6 billion company, Jackson Healthcare.
And he only spent $108 million.
Yeah. Well, that too. But I was just thinking in general, just the fact that he built a company from nothing to what it's worth now. Again, it's just the fact that he has the ability to do that. And the fact that he could jump into a governor's seat and operate it like a business, and I think it should be operated like a business. Businesses don't say, we're spending, $1,000 for a hammer in the military. They're going to be like, why would we do that? That's insane. We're going to shore all that up. We're going to do things the right way, and he will see it from that point of view, very similar to what Donald Trump does. So if you like Donald Trump, I think, and I'm not trying to make this about a Rick Jackson pitch or anything, but I think you'll like what he does too.
Well, I think that's going to be the selling point. And when you get everyone in a room together, it really does create that momentum that I believe you're going to have to see Donald Trump, in my opinion, doing the political rallies as we get into the fall.
Yep.
I believe that's going to be a big part of what their plans are.
He will have to, because that's when he's most effective. That's when he's at his best, is when he's in front of, his people. When I mean his people, his voters. People that are eager to get out there and hear him speak, and of course the politicians that will benefit from his endorsement and that time in front of the screen with him, with voters all over the state of Georgia. Tug and Los until 10 on Xtra 106.3. When we come back, finally someone is explaining why the education system is so bad. 6 o'clock hour brought to you by Subaru of Gwinnett.
Xtra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Friday, July 24th. The Atlanta Braves took 3 of 4 from the San Diego Padres, including a 6-5 win yesterday afternoon at Truist Park. That closes out the homestand with a 5-2 record. The 17 games in 17 days continues tonight in Baltimore as the Braves take on the Orioles in a 3-game weekend series. It'll be Grant Holmes on the mound. He'll be opposed by Trevor Rogers. First pitch is set for 7:05 tonight. You can hear all the game action on our sister station, 680 The Fan, and for free on the Fan app. From the NFL, Atlanta Falcons rookies are reporting to training camp beginning today. As for the veterans, they'll be required to report next week on July 28th. The first full team practice is set for July 29th. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Hey, it's Tug. Georgia summer's known for heat, of course. Humidity. People talk about the humidity, which I love. I love heat and humidity. Not everybody does. And with the rain, excess moisture can build up inside your home, leaving it feeling sticky and muggy, too, like you're outside. Well, you don't want that. And that is even when your air conditioner's running. That's why Central Heating and Air Conditioning recommends whole house dehumidifiers. It works with your AC to remove that moisture throughout your home, helping it improve comfort, reduce musty odors, and create a healthier indoor environment. New system now. If you're looking for one, you can get $1,700 in carrier rebates and 60 months 0% financing with approved credit. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. Turn to your Atlanta carrier experts. Delivering carrier comfort for the world we share. That's what they do at Central Heating and Air.
I'm Patrick Brown, former Army Ranger in the United States Army. Like many service members, I had to make difficult choices when leaving the military, and the most challenging thing was finding purpose in a new phase of life. Housing, employment, education, way too many decisions and no idea where to start. That was until I met the Warrior Alliance. They made it simple. They listened and quickly connected me to the services I needed. And like a trusted friend, they even followed up to make sure I was squared away. Change a veteran's life today by donating at thewarrioralliance.org. helping warriors navigate to success after service.
Did you know you can add renewing your driver's license or ID card to your grocery list? The Georgia Department of Driver Services now offers self-service kiosks at select Kroger and Publix locations. From renewing or replacing to updating your address, the kiosks will issue a temporary paper license, and you'll receive a permanent card in the mail. Skip the line and save time by adding your driver's license renewal to your grocery list today. You'll even get a $5 discount on your order. Visit dds.georgia.gov to learn more. Sponsored by the Georgia Department of Driver Services.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's a camera. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talk Master.
I note that Buckhead, where I used to live, is starting to hire off-duty policemen to patrol their streets and their commercial centers. To me, that indicates that they don't think the Atlanta Police Department is getting the job done.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. Good Friday morning to you. Thank God it's Friday. I wanted to bring up this lady that I found earlier in the week, and she's British, but she's amazing. First of all, she's brave enough to call out lousy education that children get, and the fact that the education system has been reduced to oppressors and the oppressed. Sound familiar? Huh. Every single issue. Her name is Catherine Barbison, and I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. My apologies to her, but she works at Oxford University as a headmaster. I'm sorry, she went to Oxford and works as a headmaster at a school in London. And I believe the exact same thing is happening to America. Listen to what she says. It's pretty impressive.
The culture shift comes from what children learn at school and online. Ask any young person what history they learned at school, and they'll tell you Hitler. Ask them what else? Slavery. Ask them what else? American civil rights. In fact, what little they know of history will be all about black and brown people fighting for equality against the white man. Women fighting men for the vote. Gay and trans people fighting for various rights. Our young people have been taught that history is simply one long story about various groups struggling under the oppressive dead white man. Out with Dickens, Shakespeare, Kipling, and Wordsworth. We must decolonize. History is taught through an oppressor lens. The triangular slave trade, white men held the power. What about Britain ending the slave trade? More than a quick mention, if at all? No. What of the Arab slave trade that lasted 3 times as long as the triangular slave trade? No. Okay, so GCSE history in Britain is often taught as migration through time. So the idea that Britain has always been a land of immigrants is embedded in our children's heads. Most schools would prefer to concentrate learning about the tiny number of black people who existed in Tudor England over a thorough analysis of England's break from Rome. Medieval history becomes her story and is told through the eyes of Eleanor of Aquitaine because, after all, she was a woman. Not to mention weeks on King Mansa Musa of Mali because he was a black Muslim. His bearing on British institutions, laws, and faith is non-existent. And the fact that he is said to have been the richest man in history, thanks in part to his massive slave-owning society, is a detail somehow that teachers rarely ever teach.
So you kind of get an idea of what she's going through. She's saying everything has been co-opted by this oppressed that we're seeing all over Europe. You're seeing it grow in the United States. And the education that your children get, because I believe it equally happens just like that in the United States, is teaching them to believe that. And I remember one time there was a kid that we knew, and we went to, whatever, a baseball game or something. He was like, "God, there's a lot of white people around here. Where's everybody else?" And not that that's a bad thing necessarily, but that's the first thing that came to him because he's been brainwashed in school to believe that everything is oppressor and oppressed.
There's only a portion of the story that is ever taught, and in my opinion, it's based on trying to institutionalize a certain thought, just as you said, oppressor and oppressed. For instance, if you're wildly against slavery because slavery is awful, well, slavery is happening right now.
Dude, look the slave trade that's happening today.
There's slaves right now.
That's right. China, Africa.
In fact, what we created during the Biden administration, with as many people that were brought in, was modern-day slavery on steroids. Now, it doesn't mean that these people live in like some sort of cage or they can't leave, but they're co-opted by cartels to basically be told, you're going to work here until your debt is paid. It's indentured servitude is what it is. That's happening right now in this country. But what also occurs is that you will always be taught about the slave trade, yet you are never given the additional history of how many countries and how much of the world was involved in the slave trade. Basically, for the better part of a millennia, it was if you were conquered, you got slaves out of it. And if you did the conquering, this is what happened.
And who was selling the slaves into slavery never gets brought up.
Never.
Ever.
Never a portion of the story.
No one is by any means saying slavery is okay or good, because we just laid out why it's bad and happening now and should be brought to someone's attention because it's never discussed. But you never get the full picture. It is always oppressed and oppressor. There's no layers. There's no details. It's only this, and that's all you can learn. That's all you can hear.
You never get to hear the story about as the Romans went into Gaul, which is traditional Germany, and as they conquered it, well, now you had German slaves. Why do they look like everyday white people? Because they were just conquered.
That's right.
It didn't matter what they look like.
No.
And again, nobody brings up when you get into the African slave trade, oftentimes it was other tribal regions that were dominating, that were conquering other tribal regions and would sell their enemies into slavery. This is never a part of the story that is ever told.
Well, but it's also a story as old as time.
And by the way, as she brings up, when it comes to certain countries, they got rid of slavery first.
Well,
we were one of them.
United States being one of them.
Yes.
That's right. That's correct. It always gets overlooked. It never gets discussed. And that when I heard this woman, I was like, I have to play this. I want people to hear what really happens. And I'm sure you had an idea that was kind of what was happening. You know, because you're probably listening now, someone that keeps up with current events, but also probably pays attention to history. Los and I try to do that too. Los is a documentary fiend. We'll watch one.
Nerd.
Just an absolute nerd about it.
Love it.
It's because there is more to every story. There's more to every point of view. There's more to every situation than what's discussed. I'm not saying that we can discuss every detail of every day. No, of course we can't. But giving context is so important when it comes to history, but then when it comes to things that are happening today. There's a reason when you flip on MS Now, we watch that crap so you don't have to. We got it on the studio. The context is never there. They're never giving you the full context because they want to help you, help shape what you believe.
Well, when you only have 4 minutes to get into something, it's
right.
playing on your emotions.
Yep.
And as that woman is bringing up, I'm going to try it. Catherine Berbalison. Okay, that's the best I could do.
Nailed it. For all I know.
I mean, she's mocking the fact that we don't tell the full story because the full story in the context will ruin the emotional output you're supposed to get from it, which is, I'm going to be mad about this. Did anyone know that slavery was bad?
What? Oh my
what a
God.
horrible practice we had. What a horrible country or nation or people, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's how the story is set up, as you just pointed out. Oppressors and the oppressed.
It's easy. As long as you know what you're up against and what you're seeing and hearing, as long as you can recognize it. It's like a pitcher or a batter at the plate, one of the Braves, when they see the pitch come in, do they recognize it? Is it a curveball? Is it a fastball? That's how you hit it. That's how you know.
Well, here's the silliness of what happens when you get into these discussions, whether it's with academics or anyone who is emotional. If we can both agree that slavery is inhumane,
Yes.
then what do you think about the United States getting rid of it as quickly as it did?
That discussion never comes up.
Because there's the original sin portion of it that they have to dwell on. Well, why did we have it in the first place? Well, that's a much more complicated discussion that if you would like to have, we can have it. But they're not interested in that portion of it.
No, because
they just want the emotion.
Once you get the context in there, the emotion lessens every time, dude. 100% correct.
And by the way, when we look like we were on the verge, and if you know your history, Abraham Lincoln never intended to free the slaves. All right? He was the abolitionist president from an abolitionist movement. He never intended on it. But once we saw what was happening, and the Southern Democrats immediately said, we're leaving the Union because there's a possibility that this is what they'll do. That's how you ended up in a civil war. We fought a civil war because the president did not intend to free the slaves, yet the South thought it's a step before they're going to free the slaves.
When we come back on Extra 106.3, a legacy Democrat feels very different about the DSA than you do. 6 o'clock hour brought to you by Subaru of Gwinnett.
Fighting the communists with truth every day on the only conservative news and talk station in Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Hey, it's Front Office Los with Tom, the honest car guy. Let's talk about the new way to buy a car in 2026. Tell me how you can save clients thousands of dollars in this process.
I got a customer here, Jeff Everhart. I met him today first time because I delivered his 25 model Honda Pilot, fully loaded with only 16,000 miles on it. Jeff, answer Los's question about that one.
It was actually shocking. I mean, you hear the advertisements, you want to believe it, and then when you go through with the sale, and there's no extras, there's no dock fees, there's no storage fees, no transportation fees. The price I was given was the price that I paid plus their honest fee. I did save thousands of dollars, and it was a very quick sale.
Well, we appreciate that.
And did it from my living room.
Did it from your living room.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Hey, Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House, and now the thought of the day. There's only a few things that a safe from the Safe House can't protect you from. The biggest one is socialist Democrats trying to steal elections. Does that really happen? Yes, it does. So for real security, drop by the Safe House and let us show you how to protect your hard-earned valuables from theft and fire. We are the exclusive Browning and Fort Knox safe dealer in the area. That's right, we're the only ones. So don't go unprotected. Go to AtlantaSafeHouse.com. That's AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Locally owned and heard throughout Georgia on the Extra app.
Talk from the Commander-in-Chief, CJ Papa, Fox News.
They got some evil intentions. We cannot let them have a nuclear weapon.
President Trump branding the Islamic Republic while repeating his major theme in the war. No nukes for that nation. Fox's Metal Rivera has more about how he may put the screws to Iran.
He tells Axios he is seriously considering restarting major combat operations in Iran, including strikes that would be bigger than the ones carried out in Operation Epic Fury. He did acknowledge that a decision has not been made yet, but it comes as the Wall Street Journal reports the president is losing patience over the conflict. He's reportedly become skeptical that negotiations with Iran can produce a lasting peace and is becoming more convinced that the regime will only bend to military pressure. Iran, though, has refused to capitulate despite the strikes. It rejected a U.S. ceasefire deal presented by Iraq. Iranian and Iraqi officials tell the New York Times.
At least 7 explosions heard near a military base in a northern city in Iraq, which is host to U.S. forces location in that nation's semi-autonomous Kurdish region. The new explosion started in the morning local time. The workaround from President Trump and his tariff team. Fox's Jared Halpern has more from the White House.
Imports from 60 countries will face anywhere from 10 to 12.5% tariffs in response to what the Trump administration says are human rights abuse and distortive trade practices. The new tariffs will replace a temporary worldwide 10% tariff expiring Friday. The administration has relied on different authorities to maintain a tariff regime after the U.S. Supreme Court struck down so-called reciprocal tariffs in February.
More than 1.6 million dozen shelled eggs have been voluntarily recalled over potential salmonella contamination. The FDA says the eggs were sold in Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, New Mexico, and Mississippi. America's listening to Fox News.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Coffee, keys, and Extra 106.3. That's how I get to work and home.
Oh, boy. When you hear the bass line, you know the things are about to get real good. Just tickle it. Yes.
Yeah, here we go.
Come on. It is Friday. It is Unskinny Bob Friday.
Welcome to 7 o'clock, everybody.
I'm always just about to get crazy in here. And we'll do it with your help, 404-741-1230. Add Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms. I got no plans this weekend, and I love it. I mean, nothing. I did nothing. I think this is the greatest weekend plan that I've ever put together. Nothing. I don't know what you've got planned, but if it's not nothing, it better be really, really good. And is it supposed to rain all weekend long anyway?
I hope not. I'm looking right now, just out of curiosity. Now, I can go to Weather Bryce, but Bryce only gives me Friday.
That's right.
Now, he'll do the weekend, too, if you ask him. But Weather Bryce, I think the best day for something is maybe Sunday. Saturday looks like it's clearing up because of everything we're getting now.
Okay, all right. So,
I concur.
He concurs. Thank you.
He does. Weather Bryce has told you. Now, we won't interrupt you in 6 minutes and tell you again.
We won't call him meteorologist either because that is an insult to meteorologists. He is Weather Bryce.
That's right. Which, I got to tell you, you do the same thing as a meteorologist and you went to school a lot less.
I also think about this on my drive home. I'll look at the weather and I'm like, wonder how accurate I was with what I said today. I feel like most of the time I'm pretty right.
Look, I love the fact that you are worried about QC. That's good.
Bryce, you tell everyone that you have a 98.5% accuracy, no matter what. When they ask, like, well, how accurate are you? 98.5. Is that verified? Yes, it is. I get tracked every day. You can listen to any show, 98.5.
I'm looking up what is the accuracy of a meteorologist. Grok is going through the details.
The tabulation?
Mm-hmm. On 1 days, it's about, they say 96 to 98% accurate.
See?
A 7-day forecast, about 80%. Anything 10 days out, 50%.
That's why I stick to daily.
No, it makes sense.
If you're on the daily, you're good.
Yeah, I mean, the only time I don't think they get it right is when they're going to tell you, well, there's a possibility of snow. You know what? If they always,
It's going to be the worst snowstorm you've ever seen.
They always get that one wrong.
Hold on. We do the same thing.
In what way?
The worst thing is coming to your country. We'll talk about that next.
No, yeah.
Okay, their version of the tease,
no, the tease
is the possibility of this.
Right. No, I'm fine with the tease, but when the actual forecast, I mean, there's nothing that you've said on this show that would, like, you go back and you're like, man, he was completely wrong. He completely botched it. Now, have you had to make adjustments? Have I had to make adjustments? Say, hey, I didn't get it exactly right. It actually went this way. Sure. But telling me it's the worst snowstorm ever and there's no milk and eggs and the school's canceled the night before and then nothing.
Hypothetically, if there is a 5% chance of snow, if the atmospheric conditions create a scenario in which it can occur, if there's a 5% chance, if I'm a meteorologist, you guarantee I'm going to say there's a possibility of snow this weekend.
That's right.
Now, I'm not telling you it's 5%.
No, but the ratings just shot through the roof because everybody's waiting to see if their school is closed, if their work is closed, if the state and the city's closed. Your listenership or viewership just shot through the roof by saying what you said.
And by the way, as meteorologist Saint Medina, if it does occur, I can then claim I was doing it in the interest of public safety.
Why, yes, you are.
And I do feel bad.
You can break into the Masters, too, if you need to.
That's exactly the direction I was going. Okay. I feel bad when our local meteorologists are seeing big weather. And let's face it, in this state, especially in Atlanta, first off, the size of the trees can cause major damage. It can kill people.
Sure.
And so when the wind conditions and the weather is at a point where you think that there might be a possibility, a threat, a loss of life, They will break into the Masters. And the last time that occurred,
not a good idea.
They caught so much hell for it. And the fighting back and forth of, hey, it was a public safety issue. We're always going to break in with that. I just know that it was happening. All I could think about is our friend Ella Dorsey. I'm like, she's going to catch so much crap for this.
And she did.
And
all of them did.
They all did.
The ticker works, the bottom. You know,
It's a great point, Tug.
Social
Thank you.
media, there's all kinds of ways to get to people. And I understand there is some FCC things that they have to do. I get it. But that was egregious. I remember, dude, it was all the entire time.
I just felt bad. There was some very nice people that we know who have worked in the industry. And
sure.
And as
David Chanley, one of our favorites.
I'm flipping channels.
He's retired now.
And all I think to myself is, all right, this person's not going to catch any problem. You broke into Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
This person's not. Hee-haw got preempted.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, God. They're breaking into the Masters.
You don't do it, man.
At least do a side-by-side.
It's terrible. It was awful.
Yeah.
It was no good. And if I recall, nothing happened. Which is where we started.
The severity did not occur.
It did not happen. Nothing. It was just nothing. And so that's when they went. It was so funny because they went the next day on defensive, dude, on social media.
Yeah.
And then they cut promos. We know some people were upset, but we're just doing what we thought. We had to make sure that people, they were throwing themselves at the mercy of the court. It was grand. God, it was so funny.
Okay, so this is going back to 2019. And poor Ella, April 2019, to everyone sending me death threats right now, you wouldn't be saying a damn thing if a tornado was ravaging your home this afternoon. I'm with you. I agree. I felt terrible. It's been 7 years, and I remember that thinking, my friend is catching a lot of flack.
But it didn't.
Was that the Tiger Masters 2019?
Oh, yeah. Probably
I think it was.
I think the Tiger Masters was 2017, 2018. His last win.
In 2019.
Because also, if you broke into to that
yes,
Masters.
It was Tiger.
Oh,
that's what I thought.
No.
Yep.
Oh, it's even worse, yeah.
April 11th through 14th, 2019, Augusta National purse was 11.5.
Oh, no.
And
Yeah, that's
Tiger
worse.
Woods finished 2 under for the fourth round, 13 under total. And yes, he did win that year. So yes, that's why, Bryce. That's a good call. It's a good pull. I didn't remember, but I do remember them. There was a full-on campaign. I mean, they were defending themselves at every turn, and there wasn't nobody trying to hear it. I was like, no, thank you.
Poor Ella, look, we had a split screen, and golf was in a bigger box in our coverage.
Doesn't matter, Ella. Get your ass off the screen.
Give me Jim Nance, please.
Oh, man.
Let Jim Nance do the weather for us.
So, again, there's a possibility.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a possibility.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. Morning Extra on Extra 106.3, the first thing to know this morning.
Way out west, there's a show, the Morning Extra, Tug Los, deep in the story, breaking news that's bold.
I must tell you, Tug, as I'm driving into work this morning, I had a big smile on my face.
Okay.
Not just because of you and Bryce, and not just because I got the sausage, egg, and cheese biscuits.
Which that put a smile on my face.
I was always going to help. But I just kept reviewing in my mind what we've seen this week. We talked about the DSA becoming much more loud, much more public, and talking about now their platform. They felt like, hey, we've got some momentum. Let's talk about our platform. We want to abolish the Senate. We need a new constitution. And every single step along the way, we were seeing more Democrats perk their ears up. We had Harold Ford Jr. We played his audio yesterday. Played a good 90 seconds of him talking about, hey, hold on a second. This isn't going to be helpful when it comes to landing independent votes. And you will have Democrats that'll move away from this. We had Bill Maher, like the preeminent Democrat, the ultimate liberal in terms of traditional Democrat policies and Democrat thought. And he stated publicly, if you go down this socialist communist road, I'm voting for, and he was alluding to J.D. Vance. If Vance is at the top of the ticket in 2028. We have had a number of these people that have, including John Fetterman, who talked about possibly moving away from the Democrat Party if their stance becomes complete anti-Israel, something else the DSA pushes. All of this is falling in line to be helpful for us. Now, we also talked about yesterday, if you have a healthy Democrat Party, we are not in this sort of issue of having to fight the communists and socialists. We've been talking about this for the better part of 5 years. It's taken 5 years before everyone started to say, wait a minute, calling them communists and socialists, you guys are right. Like, yes, that's because we've been paying attention. Tug, here is the Ragin' Cajun, James Carville. And when James jumps in there, you kind of go, all right, listen, I know.
What are we going to get?
I know you're at the back end of this thing, and you kind of sound like the old man yelling at clouds, and you hate Donald Trump and all that. But here was his concern, and it's mirroring why I do have a smile on my face.
I'm going to read something to you, and I'm going to tell you why this is typical. A progressive House candidate who served in a battleground district in Michigan as law and Democratic Party officials once said Black U.S. political leaders are a pillar of the capitalist and pluralist American establishment. Yeah, Jim Clyburn is part of that. Yeah, you're right. That's exactly who Martin Luther King was. Yeah, you're right. That's who John Lewis was. And these people are paternalistic, and it's a bunch of overeducated little white turds who think they know more than other people know, and they know what's wrong. And they're going to go and then you got they're talking about indicting Netanyahu, and that the problem is you have a candidate, a DSA candidate, New York, saying we should be against interracial dating. Let me tell you something. These people, and these are to all my black friends and people like me, they think they know more than you do. They think their history is more glorious than yours. They think that Lenin was a more glorious human being than Martin Luther King or Frederick Douglass. That's what they really think. And if you know that, you don't know your history. And you should view these people with extreme skepticism, because they think they know what's better for you than you know what's better for you. And they think they know your history better than you know their history. This don't know what he's talking about.
On Wednesday, we had a story time based on the progressive movement and what we saw at the turn of the century, the early 1900s, from Theodore Roosevelt as a Republican who was moving more towards the Democrat side, moving more progressive, to what Woodrow Wilson did. And as we pointed out, the biggest detriment was to Black America. This is the same ideology. And so I'm pleased that even someone like James Carville, with him and I are on complete opposite sides of this thing, he's basically telling you, if they're running as a Democrat and they're espousing these things, do not, as he said, look at them with a cynical eye. What he's telling you is you can't vote for him.
Of course it is. And he's right about that. Problem is, he doesn't have any pull in the party. None of those people that are starting to see this have any pull in the party. Bill Maher sat down with President Trump. He has zero pull in the Democrat Party for doing that. Errol Ford Jr., I think he's a good dude. We don't agree, but half the time, whatever. I think he is a good man, and I think he loves America. I think he genuinely cares about this country. He sees it differently than I do, which I think is fine. He has zero pull in the Democrat Party. James Carville, zero pull. Unfortunately, the people that are picking up on this, Los, have no place in the party as far as leadership goes. Did they used to be important? Yes, but are they anymore? No.
There's a couple people to watch here. One of them is going to be Chuck Schumer, because as he's losing control of this thing, I think he's looking around wondering, all right, where are the rest of the Democrat allies, the old battle horses that are ready to push back on this? Now, they can't do it publicly, but it's what are they doing to stomp this out? I told you, the more the DSA talks, the better it is for us. At the same time, it's got to wake up Democrats that it's fine if you're a worthy opponent. But what I have been saying, when I call the Democrats a paper tiger, it's being exposed by the DSA.
Yep.
And the DSA is a response to, if we get more illegals out of here, if we are able to strengthen how our vote goes, if the DOJ looks into voter rolls in different states, all of this weakens the Democrat Party and allows the DSA more power, the Democrats are going to have to win this fight within their party before we even get a chance to beat either side.
And I don't think they're going to be able to. I think it is going to boil down to, do you love America or do you want to destroy America? It will truly be an us versus them situation for the next many, many years in this country. And I want you to hear this too. This is from the young Democrat socialists. You have to hear it. They're already eating themselves. These young DSAers.
Well, before you get to this, what have we also talked about? The nice thing about communists, they kill other communists. They all look at each other and they're like, you're not communist enough.
And that's exactly what they're saying. Listen.
In order to combat anti-blackness and white supremacy in YDSA, chapters and national must run campaigns which resonate across racial divisions, standardize and improve chapter grievance processes and culture, conduct intentional leadership development of marginalized comrades, build anti-racist education and practice into our standard member development and culture.
YDSA, honestly, we do have the look of being super white, being super male-centered, being super paternalistic.
Right, with the risk of the Manhattan Institute guy seeing this, I am a Marxist.
I think the issue is that we have a issue of maintaining abusers, racists, and harassers in our organization.
They're talking about the DSA. They're talking about the DSA and how it has all of these problems. And those young DSAers are like, we got to fix this. Well, these people are crazy. These people are white supremacists. These people are, anti this, that, the other thing. You just heard the list. They just go into talking about how the party has to get fixed if they want to progress and succeed.
Here's the comedy. For as much as Democrats will always point over at us and talk about white supremacy, and they promote white supremacy, white supremacy, this and that. White supremacy cannot come out of a democratic, true democracy where everyone votes and everyone partakes in this. Socialism and communism is what leads to supremacy of any particular race.
Sure.
I mean, if you look at other socialist countries, they have the chosen ones and everyone else is, y'all are fodder. The problem is with the DSA, when you're 85% white, that's the makeup. We went through it. They are, I believe the numbers still were 6% Hispanic, 4% black of their makeup. It's natural for them to be a white supremacist organization because they believe that they're the ones with the knowledge and they're the ones with the heightened level of education.
The DSA future leaders say the organization is white supremacist, paternalistic, which is exactly the word that James Carville used, and protecting abusers. That's what they think about the DSA. The YDSA thinks that about the DSA. These people are nuts. I mean, absolutely nuts. They are extremists. But calling out people for not being extremist enough, it's hard to wrap my head around when I hear of this.
Can I give you a different view of this?
Sure, yeah.
So in the type of America that you and I believe in, which is very simply this, give me an opportunity, put it on me. The capitalistic system is going to reward those that want to work harder, that want to be more educated, that want to be a bigger producer. Now, that might make me part of the machine. Oh, Los, you're just making money for other people. Yeah, well, I'm making money too.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
that's the way the game works.
Yep.
From that view, everything they say sounds insane. From their worldview of what they want, what I'm doing sounds insane.
That's right.
And so when you wonder, why do these people have a screw loose? Because these people firmly believe that in their version of society, everything they're talking about makes total sense. And I'm the fool. That's how they argue with you in this way.
I know that's true. The difference, I would say, to them is show me which one's worked and which one hasn't.
And what do you think their response always is?
Yeah.
Just hasn't been done the right way.
Oh, I know.
It's always the same. But if you just want to say communism as a whole, now, granted, yes, the North Koreans are 3 inches smaller than their counterparts because of lack of nutrition and the amount of wealth that's missing. You can point at what the Chinese are doing. They'll tell you that those societies are running accordingly and they're fine, and look how they take care of their people.
Yeah, bunch of crazies. I don't care what you say. They're all crazy. They are nuts. To believe the things that they believe, they are nuts. All I have to do is look at history. I see what the United States has been capable of, and I see what has happened in socialist and democrat countries.
But let's also point out the obvious here, too. capitalism does leave people behind who
sure
are
it does.
unwilling to learn, who are unwilling
Yes.
to work, who are unwilling to get educated.
Yes, that's
There
right.
is a system of winners and losers, but that's the world.
Yes,
The world has always been this way.
And it ain't changing for them or anybody.
And that's the danger. They're looking to change it to where everybody is equally losers.
That's right. Everybody fails at the same level, at the same rate, except for the people that run it all.
Yep.
And then they'll be just fine.
The party is fine. Everybody, there is no middle class any longer.
I said this, I think, last week. Socialism is for you, not them. Next on Xtra 106.3, you know it wasn't a glitch in New Jersey, right? Next on Xtra.
Support the advertisers and partners that share your values. Give our Extra advertisers the first shot to earn your business. They will deliver for you every time and support the Extra community like no one else. Connect with all of our partners online at extra1063.com.
It's Toyota's Big One sales event at Marietta Toyota now through August 3rd. And if you commute every day, the 2026 Toyota Camry may be the one to see first. It's now all hybrid with up to 53 miles per gallon city, an easy way to cut fuel stops without giving up comfort. And with 50 Camrys in stock, Marietta Toyota has the selection to help you find the trim and color you actually want. Every new Toyota includes our nationwide lifetime powertrain warranty, limited time and unlimited mileage for as long as you own it. And we've been voted Best of Cobb for 2026, Best New Car Dealership, and Best Service Center. For well-qualified buyers, special financing is available on the new 2026 Camry Hybrid. As low as 4.99% APR for 48 months through August 3rd. Visit us on Cobb Parkway South, just north of Truist Stadium. Marietta Toyota, since 1975. We've been here and will be here for you.
4.99% APR for 48 months with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. Not all buyers qualify. Offer ends 8/3/2026. See dealer for details. All prices exclude tax, tag, and title and include $699 dock fee and $257 electronic tag fee.
All right, I'll say what you're thinking. Christmas in July? Yeah, it doesn't make sense, but neither does this. Because this isn't a clearance rack. It's our Solomon Brothers collection. Diamond essentials, tennis bracelets, earrings, everyday pieces done the right way. And for a limited time, all of it 31% off. So don't analyze it. Don't wait. Just come in. Solomon Brothers Christmas in July sale. 31% off everything.
You know what you get back when you call the Trusted Toolbox? You get your time back, you get your family back, and you get your house back. No more spending weekends fixing loose doors, drywall cracks, or that list that never ends. With our handyman for a day, one skilled professional shows up, knocks out multiple repairs in one visit. Everything from drywall to ceiling fans changed out, painting, trim work, and so much more. Stop working on your house every weekend. Call the Trusted Toolbox, get your time back, and get it done right the first time. Book your appointment today at thetrustedtoolbox.com.
Calling all contractors. Stovall & Company Wholesale Landscape Supply is here for you.
We've been family owned and operated for more than 75 years, and we just opened our 11th location in Canton, Georgia.
We are proud to provide all your wholesale irrigation, nursery, and landscape supply needs.
We are partnered with Keystone Hardscape to offer a wide variety of products to enhance any outdoor living space.
Here at Stovall, we have it all. Check us out at StovallInc.com or visit any of our convenient locations throughout North Georgia.
Fox in the Fast Lane.
It's championship weekend for NASCAR's in-season challenge as drivers head to Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Brickyard 400. The final matchup features Ryan Blaney and Todd Gilliland competing for $1 million prize. Blaney is the favorite, having finished no worse than 11th place in the last 4 weeks. It included a win at Echo Park Speedway 2 weeks ago. But Gilliland has been continuing to upset his opponents. Last week at North Wilkesboro, he came in 8th place, the second top 10 finish for him this year. Meanwhile, Denny Hamlin is on the quest to become one of a few drivers to win NASCAR's version of the Grand Slam after earning victories at the Daytona 500, the Coca-Cola 600, and the Southern 500. Only Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt, Jimmy Johnson, and Kevin Harvick have won all 4. The action begins Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. For Fox in the Fast Lane, Tony Genualdo, Fox News.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Friday, July 24th, and here are your headlines. A U.S. Secret Service agent assigned to Vice President J.D. Vance's security detail is under investigation for allegedly leaking sensitive operational information. Secret Service says the agent is facing an administrative investigation and possible criminal inquiry, adding that any conduct that could jeopardize or protect Dee's safety will not be tolerated. The federal government is increasing the standard millage reimbursement rate for people who use their personal vehicles for work. Officials say the changes reflect rising gas prices and is intended to help to offset higher driving costs. And finally, Georgia's chronic absenteeism rate has fallen to a new post-pandemic low, with 17.7% of students missing 10% or more of school days. State education officials say schools are using attendance data to identify why students miss class so much and have found personal outreach to families is more effective than automated calls. Grab an umbrella on your way out the door this morning, with rain expected for most of the afternoon with a high of 82 and a low of 73 with your Extra 106.3 headlines. I'm Bryce Gobert.
That is a forecast with 98% accuracy from Weather Bryce.
98.5. He's that good.
That's right. Here on Extra 106.3.
And right now he has crazy hair, so you just got to believe him.
Yeah, what's up with that, man? It's all
it's the first day I don't wear a hat, and I was hoping nobody was going to notice or say anything. It was just rushed out the door this morning.
Okay, all right.
It looked good when I styled it, and then I went outside and it got humid. And
then
you kind of look like you're Doc Brown. You want to send me into the past.
Back to 1985.
Yeah.
I'll stick with the hat for them.
Looks like you want to talk to me about the 21 gigawatts.
Yes. Right. You built a time machine.
You built a time machine?
Out of DeLorean? So good, man. God, I love that movie. So great.
You're very Rick Sanchez right now. What it kind of feels like from Rick and Morty. Smartest man in the universe.
Yes. Dude, the character, it's exactly what it looks like. Holy cow, dude. It's exactly what it looks like. It's amazing.
It's a great character.
Yeah.
It's tremendous.
Oh, yeah. With the
I'm just trying to show off the hair for as long as I have it, you know?
Yeah,
if we put you in a lab coat and a blue shirt, light blue,
right
you'd
now,
be perfect.
Yeah.
I know my Halloween costume for this
You could be a live action version of Rick and Morty.
Yeah, Rick Sanchez. You look perfect.
I love it.
And you just carry a flask.
Which, I mean,
no, that's not a bad thing. I can get used to
sound
that.
like a terrible idea if you ask me. Kind of piggybacking on that last segment we did, Los, I just saw a great tweet, and it was from the New York Post. It says Tim Tebow comes out of the bloodbath at ESPN with a new contract. And it goes back to what we were talking about with people that put in the work, the effort, that has the ability to do good work, to create, in his case, good content, and he's come out on top. Pat McAfee, the same guy. You know, he's got a great deal. He's not being, and I guess there's 10 altogether of the big name.
Well, McAfee is smart in that he's not truly an ESPN employee. He owns all of it, and ESPN licensed all of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he pays his own people. It's his own company. Where it's different, you know, SEC Nation, that is quietly a really good college football show that does well on Saturdays.
Dude, I watch it just as much as I watch Game Day, sometimes more.
And if you just want something that is strictly SEC specific, Tim Tebow is a big part of that, and I think that's where it stays in that lane. A lot of what we saw at ESPN, obviously with their cost cutting, and we'll get into a little bit of the political end of this at the end of this hour, but we saw some of the people that have strictly made sports political that were out. And doesn't apply to everybody. Some people just, like a Charles Davis of the world, great dude, sweet dude. He'll be back on NFL Network in no time. But those were the kind of people that got caught up in some of the, hey, we got to blow some people out, and we'll get some of the political ones out the door first, but we can't make it strictly all political.
Yeah. Tim Tebow, I obviously am a Georgia fan, and he used to beat the daylights out of Georgia. I'm the biggest Tim Tebow fan in the world. I love that guy. I think he does great work. I think what he does means something. I think he's more than just a football guy, and he says that. I saw an interview that was so impressive. He said, if I were to die tomorrow and the only thing people knew about me was that I played football, I would have failed, because there's something more for him. There's something bigger for him. And he talks about, his faith, his Christian faith, of course, is, the focus of everything he does. But, I mean, the things he does with he and his wife with sex trafficking and trafficking of people.
Yes.
Actually getting to the bottom of this and then, like, tracking people that are child pornography and all that hideous, hateful, evil.
It's all child protection oriented.
Yes, exactly.
A lot of their
right.
work is what they do.
Yeah, and like he was doing an interview and he had this map. It was almost like a little heat map, where it said everywhere you see something, somebody's accessing something vile like this on the internet. It was jaw dropping how often it was happening in the United States.
And during that time period, Urban Meyer put him out front, so you ignored the fact that era of the Florida Gators killed more people in this country than Ebola did.
Yes. Holy cow. With, what was the
Aaron Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez. Yes. Good Lord. What a mess. And then on top of that.
They put him out front, though. No, only pay attention to Tim.
Yeah. Urban Meyer, he's a piece of work, too, though.
Yeah.
He's
got a history there.
Yes, he does. Anyway, Morning Xtra and Xtra 106.3. You have to know that what happened in New Jersey wasn't a glitch. You remember Mickey Sherrill? She came out and said, that was the governor of New Jersey, said, "Well, we had this computer glitch, and it said 6,600 people were able to vote that wasn't supposed to, and it's the software. Nothing we could do about it." And then you learn, and you probably already thought that it wasn't a glitch.
As you know, last night, the New Jersey governor admitted that 6,600 illegal aliens had made it onto New Jersey's voter rolls. At least that number, it could be a lot larger. And 400 of them actually cast a vote. That is the largest number of foreigners ever to vote in any collection of an election in American history. When we told you that last night, the governor said, "Not our fault. It was a software glitch. No big deal." Well, overnight, we reached out to the software company that runs New Jersey's system. And you know what they said? There's no software glitch at all. The state of New Jersey knew they were putting non-citizens, i.e. foreigners, onto the voter rolls. It is the state's responsibility to determine who is eligible to vote and who's not. The software had it marked right. That is a major contradiction. And just a little while ago, the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights in the U.S. Justice Department, Harmeet Dillon, announced that there is an investigation of New Jersey now into whether they knowingly were allowing non-citizens to vote and to get on the voter rolls.
Remember, I can answer that. I don't need Harmeet Dillon to do it. Yes, they were.
Yes, they were.
Absolutely. True. Without a doubt.
Simple answer.
That's right. It's so easy. And, as soon as I heard software glitch, I was like, oh, come on. You've got to be kidding me. Surely you don't expect me to believe that. And, of course, now we know that's not the... At least from the software company's perspective, like, yeah, they knew exactly what they're doing.
And... to think that it was only, well, listen, we just found 6,600.
Yeah, Donald Trump said 35,000. I don't know. Let's say it's somewhere in the middle.
I'm going to go with the bigger number. Now, we even talked about it when the news broke. The 6,600 is enough to do major damage when it comes to your local municipalities.
Absolutely. Right. Because it was this most recent Alpharetta City Council, someone won by 45 votes.
Sure.
Oh, 45 votes.
You look at what happens locally when it comes to your city councils, your school boards, your local sheriffs. I mean, all of those. If you can turn out or happen to have 6,600 extra people that went ahead and took part in an election, they were all going one particular way, kind of changed a lot of your local municipality.
Yes, that's exactly right. And can you imagine now, because I brought this up yesterday and I'll say it again, times that by 50 states. That's because that's happening each and every state. And you might think, well, what about the red states? Because some people would call Georgia a red state. And I know voting here is wacky. I've participated in it. I've seen it up close. I've seen it now with a national microscope on top of it. It's happening everywhere. And William Cochran just emailed us and said, it's probably 66,000.
It's probably.
And he's likely right. You're probably right, man. It ain't 6,600, and it ain't by accident. If you can, as long as you know all that, you're at least not going to be misled like they try to mislead you.
No, if you always go with the higher number, it's like Tug when he says, he expects the worst and hopes for the best.
Always.
I choose to say, what's the biggest number? I'll go with that one. If we scale it back from there, okay.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Fair enough. Over on CNN, Abby Phillips Apparently, she thinks we're all just completely stupid.
When it comes to this discussion, and I love this when they had their panel, and Scott Jennings just sits there as the, again, he's just going to let you talk. Scott Jennings doesn't have to do, a lot of times Scott Jennings, all he has to do is, I'll let you talk, and then I'm going to take exactly what you said and ask you about it. Because as the information has been getting out there and the discussion of, well, these illegals that took part in this vote, well, I just know this. Voting is easy, but I've also never in my entire life accidentally voted. Okay, it's been deliberate.
You wander in like it's it's like let's say you're in
place?
like a mall and you just wander into a store. You don't really know what it is.
It's like it wasn't like I went to Sharper Image and then ended up at some place where I go, oh, you want me to vote? Oh, okay.
I thought I was here to buy electronics.
That's not the way it works, right? And most of the times when you are voting, you're voting at some sort of county office. You might be at a particular school. You might be at a church. You might be at one point. I remember I was in. It was a golf. And it was their facilities when it came to hosting events.
Okay.
It was like, you have to go out of your way for it. It wasn't like I headed over to Publix and walked in and went, oh, didn't know there was voting going on today.
I'm
going to buy some mushrooms and some salt, and I'm going to vote.
Check a box.
All right. Abby Phillips brings this up on CNN, and listen to Scott Jennings.
Because they're trying to defraud the system. They might have cast a ballot because they just weren't aware that they were incorrectly put on the voter roll.
They weren't aware that they weren't a citizen of the United States?
No,
they
but the
said in this instance that they weren't citizens. They were still
Is this accurately described as fraud when none of these people tried to register to vote?
Yes, they cast ballots. 400 of them cast ballots. They had to actively go do that. I assume no one voted in their name. Maybe they did. I don't know. But they actively cast a ballot. Did they not?
What I want to, but
an illegal alien gets put on the rolls, however they got there, and cast a ballot.
I mean, but you acknowledge that some people might actually be confused, because this has come up in courts before, where some people who are ineligible to vote are not aware that they're ineligible to vote.
All right. That a lot of times falls on people that have lost their right to vote, whether it's through felons.
Yes.
Whether you have had some sort of issue. We have yet to have a clear story of someone who was here illegally, and then I didn't know I wasn't allowed to vote here.
I thought Guatemalans were welcome.
I thought I had the right to vote, even though I'm here illegally. No, that's different. Abby Phillips is treating her audience like they are morons. These people, we've had these court cases where they weren't aware that they lost their right to vote.
No.
Wasn't aware. Oh, sorry, you had some felony charge that you pled out of, and yet you lost your right to vote. Okay, fine. You are an American citizen, and you lost your right to vote based on some sort of criminal charge. Fine. Different than, my name is Manuel, I came from Panama, I'm here illegally, and I decided to vote on accident.
It was accident. I didn't mean to. I just rolled up in there, and they handed me this card, and I just started hitting buttons. I just started pushing buttons and voting for people. I thought I was supposed to.
I drove to Oakwood Elementary, walked in. I was looking to get a library book. Turns out they made me vote.
Hand me one of the sticker. What was I supposed to do?
What'd you want me to do? They were giving away stickers.
You have to vote to get the sticker.
Abby Phillips is treating her audience like they are morons. And all Scott Jennings did was say, think they accidentally voted? Sounds like voter fraud.
Sounds a lot like it.
Seems like there's something simple in Congress that won't pass that would fix all this.
I don't know what you speak of, Bryce.
I know of nothing.
The Republicans clearly know nothing. They've done nothing. There's nothing to be done, according to them. At least that
they
I
tried.
Know. So they did. Why sports media is so hard left from a guy that spent 20 years in it. Next on Extra.
Extra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Friday, July 24th. The Atlanta Braves took 3 of 4 from the San Diego Padres, including a 6-5 win yesterday afternoon at Truist Park. That closes out the homestand with a 5-2 record. The 17 games in 17 days continues tonight in Baltimore as the Braves take on the Orioles in a 3-game weekend series. It'll be Grant Holmes on the mound. He'll be opposed by Trevor Rogers. First pitch is set for 7:05 tonight. You can hear all the game action on our sister station, 680 The Fan, and for free on the Fan app. From the NFL, Atlanta Falcons rookies are reporting to training camp beginning today. As for the veterans, they'll be required to report next week on July 28th. The first full team practice is set for July 29th. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
The summer's got you thinking about hitting the road, and with back to school right around the corner, you need a vehicle built for the road and safe enough for the family. And Subaru of Gwinnett has it for you. Like the 2026 Subaru Outback, which will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus up to 32 miles per gallon. And if you're up for adventure, it'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance, more than the Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4. Or the 2026 Subaru Forester, the SUV for all you love. It's the right size SUV for all the adventures ahead, with a spacious and comfortable interior for everyone you want to bring along. And no matter where adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you'll love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Hi, I'm Tom Stratton from Tom and Jerry's Roofing, a 10-year veteran of the U.S. Army. When my best friend Jerry and I opened Tom and Jerry's Roofing, we wanted our company to be an outlet for good. So with every roof we do, a portion goes to various veteran services and charities. Tom and Jerry's Roofing is passionate about giving you the best service and quality work possible, and that work turning into service for our heroes. So if you need a new roof or a repair, call us. We're Tom and Jerry's Roofing, where every roof helps veterans. TomandJerry'sRoofing.com.
Your yard, it stresses you out between the watering, the seeding, the weeding, and mowing. And no matter what you do, you're never satisfied. Have you thought about artificial turf? It's low maintenance, pet friendly, and looks amazing all year round. ATL Turf Co. is Atlanta's top choice for artificial grass installation. Let them build you a custom golf or putting green, outdoor kitchen, or pool deck. They even specialize in custom concrete and stonework. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at atlturfco.com. That's atlturfco.com.
Step right up, America. Got equipment to sell or looking for something ready to work? PurpleWave.com. At Purple Wave Auction, it's as easy as it gets. Easy to sell, easy to buy. Construction, ag, fleet, and government equipment. All no reserve, all online. Register for free.
No reserve. Don't wait. Get swinging over to PurpleWave.com. PurpleWave.com.
It's July 24th, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. Today is National Amelia Earhart Day. The pioneering female aviator and author was born on this day in 1897. One of her greatest achievements was her solo crossing of the Atlantic in 1932, becoming the first woman and first person since Charles Lindbergh to make the nonstop flight. Tragically, while trying to circumnavigate the globe in 1937, Earhart's plane disappeared over the Pacific near Howland Island. However, today is meant to honor her many achievements as she continues to inspire generations of women to become flyers. Also on this date, in 1969, the astronauts of NASA's Apollo 11 mission returned to Earth after their successful trip to the moon, where Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin walked on the lunar surface. The two men, along with command module pilot Michael Collins, returned as heroes. If it's your birthday today, you share it with Wonder Woman actress Linda Carter, born in 1951. I'm Tushar Saxena, and that's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
The American dream is alive and well with the Victor Armendariz Show. Raised a first-generation American, Victor is a Mexican who grew up witnessing his father achieve the American dream. You will not get spin here, just the facts and opinion from someone who absolutely believes in American exceptionalism. The Victor Armendariz Show. Always available at thepodcastpark.com and streaming free on the Extra 106.3 app.
Shoot, yeah, boy. Loving the Doors on a Friday morning. I've been on a Doors kick, too. Listening to them the last couple nights in a row. Just turning it up as loud as I can. When I went to Paris in the Navy, we pulled into Toulon, France. I took a bullet train from Toulon to Marseille to Paris, spent a couple days there, and then was able to do it again in a different port visit. But the first one, went and found where Jim Morrison's buried, and this cemetery is thousands of years old. It's older than our country. There's so many people of royalty buried there, and none of that matters because there's spray paint arrows, Jim, this way.
Yeah.
Which is very disrespectful. At the same time, it is mildly cool. You're like, holy cow, because I had no idea. I walk into the cemetery, I have no idea where to go. Where might I see this? And it's not long where you get the directions. They point you right there, and you find it easily.
I listened to LA Woman in full on the way home for the first time.
They're so good. Mr. Mojo Rising. I can't say that I'm an expert on sports media. Had my toe in the water, 5, 6, 7 years ago with Hudson Mason doing a show. He kind of brought the sports angle, and I brought the pop culture and the, entertainment part of the show, and it was fun. He and I are both pretty conservative guys, but that's not common for sports media. And I know this because the man to my left has worked in it for 20 years and has laid it out at length many times about some of these fools that work in that industry.
There's not a check against it. And I think that's why you see it just run rampant at times. The left, you want to talk about how left the media is? Not anywhere close to the sports media,
which is crazy.
In fact, the sports media is first off, you're covering a lot of times kids' games, and the salaries can be unreal, the lifestyle can be unreal, and then the expectations for how it should conduct itself become even more unreal. For instance, you do have the scenario that's going on with Sophie Cunningham. Now, she is a guard with the Indiana Fever, and she's Caitlin Clark's teammate, and she has taken exception to some of the physical shots that woman's taken. Well, Sophie Cunningham also went on the record earlier this week by talking about how you have to keep men out of women's sports. And immediately, the media, how can you say that? That's an attack against women. It's like, no, it's not.
An attack against men.
But the leftist media, when it comes to the sports news media, is still on this mindset of, well, if it's leftist, it's correct.
Right. Yeah,
everyone must think the way we do. No, not at all. Especially in a sport where there's a score and there's an outcome and there's a winner and a loser that goes completely against the left to start with. Then there was yesterday. And yesterday, there was an article in the USA Today by Nancy Armour. And
had you known of her before?
Yes.
Okay, because I'd never heard her name before yesterday.
She is right there with the Bob Nightingales of the world from USA Today, where it's sports, but at times it has a very leftist weird slant to it. And she had this entire article about what's going on with Caitlin Clark. I'll just give you just kind of the headline of it. Caitlin Clark's flopping isn't just annoying, it's becoming dangerous. It's like, whatever do you mean? Now, she starts bringing up that, well, Caitlin Clark has become an icon of white nationalism.
Really?
I was like, hold on a second. Was Tiger Woods some sort of icon of black nationalism when he came into the PGA and we all went, wow, this is new and amazing, and
this
wow,
kid's amazing.
Can push the sport to different levels?
And won several Masters and has been one of the greatest and most watched, most enjoyed, most supported golfers of all time.
I mean, the joke was, because he was part Asian, it was like, which group is going to claim him?
Chappelle did a whole segment, the racial draft.
The racial draft. Here's what we're going to do. Well, Caitlin Clark has the possibility of having that sort of impact. This is a woman that, let's see, her previous game was 27 points. The one before them was 45 points. Okay, she's doing things that you typically do not see in that league, and yet that league is predominantly black, predominantly lesbian. They are beating on her because she's the golden goose. I have never seen, I've joked around about it, it's like the show Orange is the New Black, the prison documentary, the prison show,
right,
where it depicts this one woman who's in prison, and it's like the whole life and everything around it. And I've said it's like Orange is the New Black, except none of the women want freedom or to make money.
Which is insane.
All
they have to do is embrace Caitlin Clark and treat her decent. You don't even have to treat her better than anybody else. Just treat her decent.
Sophie Cunningham had a viral moment where she was pointing at an opposing player who got involved in a scuffling match. And when she was pointing at that player, that then created a lot of marketing opportunities. The WNBA said no, based on it was racial.
Pointing at someone.
Hot white woman pointing at a black woman who was looking to fight.
I'm glad you finally said it, because I've been dying to say that. She is smoking.
She's a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model, okay? So here's Nancy Armour, though, as she's talking.
Can I add this real quick? I don't even want to watch Caitlin Clark. I know she's the goose that the league needs. I want to watch Sophie.
Yes. She's funny. And the woman was a black belt in karate as like a 7-year-old. Okay, she was the kicker for her high school football team.
Yeah, she's super cool.
It's all-American cool chick. Anyway, so here's what Nancy Armour then, she was talking about Caitlin Clark's flopping, and now it's getting dangerous. She says, it seems there's a white nationalist faction to Clark's fandom that is deeply, deeply problematic, and made even more so because the WNBA is made up of predominantly of black women, many of them queer. When Clark claims fouls that don't exist, when she goes on profanity-laced tirades at referees, those racists see her as a white woman in need of saving and take matters into their own hands. Now, you think that's the dumbest part. No. Here's
it
where
gets dumber?
The leftist media.
Do tell.
Next portion of this. It shouldn't need reminding. This country has an awful history of black people being harmed, even killed in the name of defending white women. The irony of the WNBA's All-Star Game is that it's happening this weekend in Chicago, the hometown of Emmett Till, who became an icon of the civil rights movement after his tragic murder. She actually invoked Emmett Till.
Yes. And I think she's already walked that back.
And she already apologized.
Yeah.
And this article has then since been edited to bring more context. The sports media.
And the crazy thing is she knew exactly what she's doing.
This is the same USA Today that used to have a columnist who, when COVID hit, he went so freaking nuts that it turned into like, we need to cancel football. We need to get rid of all the. I can't believe we're going to do this. Now, by the time they fired him, like 2 or 3 years ago, most all of us were like, see you later.
See you, buddy.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
You weirdo.
And what is that person doing these days?
Just probably writing for like Yahoo or something like that.
Yeah. Just wasting time.
But that's how far, because there's no check on it other than if there's an editor who goes, come on.
Well, and the fact that people like Clay Travis are involved in sports too, because I know he was involved in that conversation and was, pointing out how insane it all was and how ridiculous it all is. I think that's the important part of an organization like Outkick. Having kind of straddling the politics and the sports.
Sure. It was the check.
Because it does bring that, at least a little bit, at least a check that's never been there before.
When USA Today used to have Dan Wolken and all of the craziness he was writing.
Oh, my God.
I'll just tell you how much he stands by it. You can go over to Dan Wolken's X page. You will find nothing on COVID.
Wiped it clean.
Wiped it all clean. Because it was the epitome of crazy. Now, you go to mine. There's nothing been deleted there.
That's right.
Feel pretty good about that
those
one.
Those are all receipts.
Right. That's how I keep them receipts.
That's right.
But that's the nutty part. You actually are saying, well, there's a white supremacist movement that's surrounding Caitlin Clark because they have to protect her. It's like, no, protect your golden goose. It's money, you idiots.
What is
you
wrong
morons.
with you?
She's worth millions of dollars to your league. Your league used to fly commercial.
Yeah.
And she's changing things for the better. And you're like,
let's kill her.
Beat her ass.
Let's kill her. Dude, I think if I were Caitlin Clark, I would be like, I'm going to go to the Big 3 league and play for like Ice Cube. Because didn't he try to get her to play?
Yeah, early on.
Dude, that would be such a dagger to the WNBA and such a lip because Ice Cube's smart enough. He would promote her the way that she needs to be. It'd be over. It'd be over for them. When we continue on Extra 106.3, socialists have gained a new, somewhat unexpected ally. Next on Extra.
time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Well, the communist with the great smile, Zoran Mamdani, is really facing a harsh reality on all these promises that he made to low-information New Yorkers to get elected mayor. The promise of free buses? He has discovered that the projected loss revenue for the city will be $1 billion. Suddenly, that idea is off the table. Oh, and he was going to arrest Netanyahu. Oh, Mamdani finds out he's not a dictator yet, so that's off the table. Oh, and the grocery stores. He promised 5. They only have locations for 2, and the first one won't even open until late next year. But I want to tell you a little bit more about the DSA, Democratic Socialist of America, a.k.a. the USA Communist Party. A Mamdani sycophant by the name of Gustavo Cordillo was on Fox News earlier this week, criticizing New York landlords. Those evil landlords, most of whom, by the way, are middle-class New Yorkers. Gordillo is upset because, as he said, landlords in New York have been making a 12% return on investment. And he's saying the landlords are complaining that that's not enough. But here we get to the meat of this commentary about the DSA, the AOCs, and the rest of it. You really need to know how they think. Gordillo right now is saying we need a constitutional amendment to prohibit anybody from making a double-digit return on an investment, whether it's in real estate, stocks, bonds, gold, silver, whatever. If you make more than a double-digit return, you've broken the law and should be prosecuted. Oh, these people are going to be a lot of fun, the more of them that get elected. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Tug and Los start your day the right way on the Morning Extra.
What's really important, you need to go vote for Tug and Los. Because,
we're running for mornings here.
They got this big voting sign here, and I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, man, we got to get these guys in.
That's exactly right. We will be here for you every morning.
I'll endorse you guys.
See, there we go.
I want to be your first endorsement.
Let's go, and you
are. Here we go.
There we go. I feel like we've won the day with Rick Jackson here on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app. Your paycheck buys less than it used to. That's not a talking point. That's your grocery receipt. And Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station has the numbers, the reasons, and who's accountable. Listen live or stream us anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app.
Not enough pain. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. There have been 13 straight nights of airstrikes in Iran, and President Trump says he might order a major attack, telling Axios Iran has not received enough pain yet.
He is seriously considering restarting major combat operations in Iran, including strikes that would be bigger than the ones carried out at Operation Epic Fury. He says, I am considering a massive attack bigger than ever before. I am close to making a decision. We are all set for it. Iran, though, has refused to capitulate despite the strikes. It rejected a U.S. ceasefire deal presented by Iraq. Iranian and Iraqi officials tell the New York Times. The sticking point was reportedly over the Strait of Hormuz. Tehran's not interested in a temporary deal that leaves that issue unresolved.
It's Fox's Madeline Rivera. As it was in 2024, immigration is shaping up to be a polarizing topic for voters in the midterm elections. Fox's Bill Malugin has more.
Now that the border's quiet, the conversation has shifted to what should be done about the millions of illegal immigrants already here. And some Democrats want immigration enforcement ended entirely. More migrant crime is back in the headlines. A Salvadoran illegal immigrant is now charged with felony hit and run causing serious injury or death after police say he killed 3 people in a crash in North Carolina on Saturday, then tried to flee the scene. But new Fox News polling reveals Democrats are gaining serious ground on immigration after getting destroyed on the topic in 2024. When asked which party would handle immigration better right now, Democrats now have a 1-point lead over Republicans, 50 to 49%.
Republicans had an 8-point lead over Democrats on immigration in the Fox News polling in April. President Trump's replacing tariffs that expired today with new ones, 10 to 12.5% on imports from 60 countries accused of inadequately enforcing bans on goods produced by forced labor. America's listening to Fox News.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. We made it to the halfway point in the show. And it's all downhill from here. If you're headed into the office, you can just look right over the horizon, and there it is. It's like when you're driving to the beach, and you start smelling the ocean before you get there. Yeah. Have you ever had that happen? Because you had that house down there. Y'all had the house.
We knew you would feel the weather change.
Yes.
Everything kind of felt a little different. You knew I'm close.
Yes. Brad Paisley's got a great line in his song called Water, one of my favorites of his. And he says, just drive till the map turns blue, which is so descriptive because how many people use their GPS to drive, and then all of a sudden you just see, wherever you're headed, you'll see the beach end and the ocean begin, and the map just turns blue. That's what, that's what Fridays are, really.
And that was after his other mega hit, Dirt.
Yes. Yeah. But
that was his follow-up from...
I don't remember Dirt.
After that was Foot.
No, Los, I think you're talking about somebody different. Dirt was Alice Chains. It's completely different. A great record. I love it. Matter of fact, I found a YouTube channel last night that I'm really into and watched it before I watched Little House on the Prairie.
It's so cute.
the new story on Netflix.
I was watching Little House on the Prairie.
Yes, and then I went back and fact-checked them with the old Little House on the Prairie. I'm gay. Always have been. Because I watched Little House on the Prairie? I don't think that has anything to do with sexuality. Yeah, I think that was out of context. Anyway, but this YouTube channel I found, I stumbled on it through a Instagram page, and it is producers that will get these really talented musicians together and play them something that most often, at least half the time, they've never heard of. And it's completely opposite of the music they play. Let's say it's a jazz band. They played, in this case, Alice in Chains, the song Wood. And they're like, we want you to listen to this, deconstruct it, and turn it into a jazz tune. And it was so fascinating because these musicians actually know what they're talking about. And, they're talking about, deconstructing this song and beats and how they could play particular instruments to replicate what the guitar did or the bass guitar did. It was so fascinating, and they did it with everything. They had like this these women singers. They were like a pop duo, and they took like Everybody Wants to Rule the World, the Tears for Fears song, and turned it into like a pop princess kind of song. And it was so fascinating and so good. I sat and watched it on the porch for 30 minutes at least and was just blown away by it all.
You ever seen the one of Chad Smith? He goes in, they play him. It's some 30 Seconds of Summer, or 30 Seconds, I can't remember.
5 Seconds of Summer?
That's what it is, 5 Seconds of Summer. And it's no drums. but he goes in and makes up the drum track.
And it works perfectly.
It sounds just like it belonged to
Chad Smith, of course, the Chili Peppers, the drummer for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yes, I'm so fascinated by musicians. I'm so impressed by them. I want to have that. If there is an envy that I have, that's it. I wish I could do anything. I wish I could play anything. And my fine motor skills never developed.
No.
Yeah, it's terrible, man. It's awful.
You mean flutist?
Yeah.
The flautist.
Flautist, yeah.
Close enough, though.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
Flautist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that not flutist?
I can't answer the question. I don't know. I just know what it is.
Just a flautist.
Yeah, that's all it is, Bryce.
Stupid.
I love how Bryce immediately deflects.
It's just so dismissive.
Like, no.
That's stupid. I hate it. But anyway, yeah, if I could correct one thing about myself, I think that would be it. Is there a skill, Los, that if you could have, if you could possess, that you wish you did?
I could read minds.
Okay. I didn't
wish
see that
my
coming.
telepathy was a lot better.
Right. Yeah.
By the way, you talk about deconstructing albums or deconstructing music. All right. I know it's different. I know it's older. I think we're going near like a decade now. Ryan Adams.
Oh, so good.
1989.
Yep. The Taylor Swift record.
Remade all the Taylor Swift record.
He's so good.
It's, to me, that's still one of the things I like listening to.
Me too. And that's the thing. I really like Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Some of the last, I guess like the last 2 or 3 records, I really didn't delve into it all. Maybe shame on me. I don't know. Maybe I missed something. But the last one I really liked was 1989. And I still occasionally will put that record on and just listen to it because I think it's really good. Ryan Adams' version is even better than Taylor Swift's version.
He released it in 2015, and part of his explanation for it was
11 years old.
I wanted to show everyone how well written this record is.
Yeah, she's incredible.
And so when you listen to his version of it, it's still all the same lyrics, but it's just differently set up. And the songs to me are like, it starts off with Welcome to New York, which when it comes to Taylor, I could take it or leave it. Ryan Adams' version, I'm like, that's a cool song.
Yeah,
it's a really cool song.
Well, but sometimes it's hard to get away from the overproduction of pop music.
Yeah.
And when you can strip it down and actually hear instrumentation, you're like, oh my gosh, why didn't she do it this way?
Ryan Adams' version of Bad Blood.
So good.
It's like so much more haunting than Taylor. Taylor's just more built for the radio.
Yeah,
it's more pop oriented.
And I love that version.
It's kind of a girl anthem.
Yeah.
His version's like just haunting.
Dude, he is so freaking good. If you've never listened to Ryan Adams, I encourage you to go listen to some of his stuff because he's really, really.
Do not mix it up with Brian Adams. You will end up in a different place.
No, got Summer of '69.
Ryan Adams has his own catalog.
Ryan Adams, kind of a singer-songwriter, folky, a little more folky kind of guy. Brian Adams, of course, the stadium anthem, Summer of '69, Heaven, Somebody. And I love Brian Adams. Don't get me wrong. I love him too. Just totally different. If you mix them up, you'll immediately realize the error of your way.
One's American, one's Canadian.
That's right.
Just saying, just go with the American guy for this exercise.
For this
here.
exercise.
Yes. Brian Adams is fine.
Yeah.
For this exercise, go with the American.
Dude, because if Summer of '69 comes on, everybody sings along.
Great song.
Fantastic. And I love Heaven. You know, that's another song that's been covered 1,000 times. But Brian Adams' Heaven. Brian, this time the Canadian, Brian Adams' Heaven. That has been covered so many times. They've made dance versions, and I've even heard heavy metal versions. Deconstructing music is fun, and especially when people are really, really good at what they do, and being able to show you a different side, like Los has laid out with Ryan, the American, Ryan Adams. Now to the first thing to know this morning on Extra 106.3, 8 o'clock hour, brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning.
He tuned in to the morning show and said, give me the truth today. She poured her coffee, grabbed her phone, whispered, Lord, light up the way. They could hear the leftists talking. He said, this is my daily fight. If they take me to the office, they won't take my common sense alive.
Praise.
It was the Morning Xtra.
Lord, I feel like it's a Sunday morning, not a Friday morning. When you get praise music like that, it's good for your heart.
I don't know. At some point, we're going to have to make these available.
We should on the website or something.
Yeah,
but for download.
There's a lot of comedy built into these,
dude. I'm telling you, dude, that's a great idea. I don't know why we've not thought of that before.
Poor Kimmer joke and a couple of them.
Absolutely, because we could do a whole record by now. I think at least an EP, if nothing else, an EP.
Cats in the Cradle version,
dude. Yeah, with my
Kimmer
daddy
fell down again.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then
we need an album title.
We'll come up with something. I don't know, but how many of these have you done? I mean, at least 6, 7,
6 or
8?
7, yeah.
Bullets for Love. I mean, you did
Bullets for Love is huge.
Yeah, and then there was like 5 or 6 there. So you take that 5 or 6 and then combine it with all the.
Oh, we can do it. We can do it.
We might have 10 of them.
Let me take a look.
Yeah, there's a bunch. It's a bunch. Why you can do that? I want to tell you.
I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, well, yeah.
I'm right here.
Okay. I just wanted to bring up that David Duke is finding common ground with the socialists and communists.
The David Duke.
That David Duke, yes.
As in the gentler face of the KKK that got introduced to America like 30 years ago as oh, look, he's clean cut and he's just talking. It's not even about white supremacy. It's just about maintaining your lifestyle.
That David Duke. He said he's finding common ground with the socialists and communists, and he brings up Avila Chevalier specifically and her objection to interracial marriage. And then, if you know about the KKK and David Duke, you know that they're propped up by leftists and all of their ideas are leftist. So is it any surprise, Front Office Los, that David Duke would be like, oh, yes, I actually agree with her. And he goes on to say he's a fan of Zohran Mamdani. This is reporting out of the Washington Free Beacon.
Kind of feels like it goes right along the lines of the progressive movement of the early 1900s.
Certainly does. And as soon as I read it, I thought about your story time.
You think about somebody like Chevalier, and when she went on the record in talking about interracial dating, interracial marriage, I had pointed out how, well, hers is linked to tribalism, that you stay within your tribe, and this is the way it's supposed to be. Yet it's because it's the supremacy of the tribe. Why do you think David Duke gravitates to that? It's still the same mindset. We just don't refer to people that are not white talking about this as being supremacists.
He points out Chevalier's now deleted social media post from September of 2019 when she criticized black and Arab men for fetishizing ugly colonizer women. Now, this lady is an Afro-Latina, and she is within the black queer feminist lens.
It's a lot of labels.
Well, I tell you, if they didn't have it laid out for me in this article, I would have never put all that
How many
together.
boxes am I in?
Yeah, as many as you possibly can be. And Mark Halperin, who is a political commentator, he said the Democrat Party, they're nervous that Chevalier is their David Duke. The Democrat Party is nervous. Let me say that again, that she is their David Duke. She is poisoning the possibility of a Democrat majority. Some people see this and go, there's no way that Chevalier and David Duke would have anything in common. And that's where you'd be really, really wrong. He says about Zohran Mamdani, I think what the mayor of New York is doing is a step forward. Even though he disagrees with Mamdani on, a couple things, small issues, I do believe there's bigger fish to fry. I do believe that immigration policies we talk about were orchestrated by the same elites that's given us these wars. And Zohran is tackling this problem.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Do you see this? Do you see the overlap? Do you see the things that Los brought up in story time? It's all unfolding right in front of your face. When the Southern Poverty Law Center propped up racists in the KKK specifically, paid them to stay there, paid them to show up and protest so that they would have something to campaign on to say, hey, we need more donations. We got to tackle this problem. Little did you know the problem was being created by them. And all of it works like cogs in a wheel.
Let them keep speaking out. Let them keep talking publicly. Because once Black America really gets their arms around this, and we've now had pastors in churches, we have had news articles in the New York Post. Oh boy, have we! Some of them. I'm like, I don't know if we can play that.
We could never play it.
It's too abrasive.
But when you hear specifically this black pastor, and I'll find his name, I've never seen a more strong denouncement of socialism and Zoran Mamdani.
Yes.
And it was in a black church, and my man did not hold back.
He went scorched earth to talk about what these people intend to do. Now, this isn't, I swear, this is not like what you get from the people on the left that'll tell you, like, oh, well, you know what? Donald Trump is going to end elections. Communists everywhere end elections.
They're doing it. Where's it? Nicaragua?
Yes.
Now.
This is what they do.
Right now, today.
It's not rhetoric. This is how it works when you have communists. They are violent and they are authoritarian. And no matter what it gets dressed up as, oh, look, it's all wrapped in cotton candy. The center is still turd.
Ortega, down in Nicaragua, says never again. They've been having elections for 2 decades, but no more. He and his wife have decided they're not going to have elections anymore. You're right. It's exactly what they do. It's what they always do. Back to the article and David Duke. Another thing that he joins with Zoran Mamdani on, his views on Israel are critical because there's been no more important political issue than the fact that a tiny majority of Americans, the oligarchs of the Jewish people, that are controlled by they're controlling our foreign policy. And, Zoran Mamdani feels the exact same way. He is, he's obviously anti-Semitic and some of the things he says and some of the things he does in the past and even currently. So it's no surprise that David Duke would be like, yeah, that's my guy. Let's
get to Marco Rubio, because I think Marco really did an outstanding job of, and again, this is a guy whose family came from communist Cuba. Now, if anybody speaks who's within the administration of a high level of intelligence and experience about what the communists do once they're in power, it ends up being Marco Rubio. Take a listen.
Well, again, what the president put out on Thursday, that was a declassification of documents from our intelligence community. That's what he put out. He declassified intelligence assessments from our intelligence community. But your question was about communist influence. Yeah, the United States doesn't want to be a communist country. We're never going to be a communist country, and we're not going to allow communist influences to undermine our politics or our society. So I don't know what the inconsistency you're referring to is. It's very clear. Obviously we understand the Chinese system and other systems, but I can tell you our system doesn't want communism, and we're certainly not going to allow communist efforts to undermine American society and drive wedges into our country, and that's what we're seeing. And by the way, one of the leading culprits of that for many years, the intellectual authors, particularly in our hemisphere, is the Cuban regime, which our report on Monday outlined.
We don't want communism. And I agree with Marco Rubio 100%. We don't. And I think the majority of the country feels that way too, Los. I know there is momentum, and I don't know what that momentum looks like what percentage of the country, but I strongly believe that the majority of the country, including Dr. James David Manning, that's the pastor that has some abrasive opinions, but is wildly entertaining.
Democrats, especially those on the left, are a loud minority. They're not a majority in this country. They're a minority. Right now, the loudest that the Democrats have is their far left, which is even a more minuscule minority. But it is their problem to deal with. We're the majority. This is a center-right country. It's just our job to make sure and get out there and vote, and also properly secure elections. Actually use what we can to make sure that these people can't cheat.
The major Trump administration success that is completely overlooked, next on Extra.
Every vote should count once and count right. Because trust in the process isn't optional, it's the law. And Extra 106.3 is proud to be Atlanta's conservative voice, bringing you the newsmakers and lawmakers that matter when it matters most. Listen live or stream us anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app.
Babe, can you knock out my honey-do list today?
Oh, I know. I told you I'd get to it this weekend.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalomia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. I can't fix your marriage, but I can fix your house. With our handyman for a day service, we'll handle those drywall patches, that door that won't latch, the leaky faucet, and the wood rot all around your house. The whole punch list, done fast, done right. You keep your weekend, she gets the house done. Everybody wins. Book your handyman for a day at thetrustedtoolbox.com. One call, one handyman, one day, the Trusted Toolbox.
Don't believe this nonsense you see on TV commercials about how uncomfortable a CPAP mask is. Take it from me. You wear one, especially the nasal pillow I use, for one night, and you will fight anybody that tries to take it away from you. But if they do take it away from you, you can get more at cpapsetcetera.com, cpapsetc.com. With a store in Alpharetta, same-day shipping. To your health, cpapsetc.com.
Stovall & Company is a locally owned and operated family business that has been around for 75 years, offering quality wholesale landscape supplies to North Georgia. We just opened our 11th location in Canton, Georgia at 9500 Union Hill. Stovall provides contractors with personalized expert service from special requests to direct job site delivery for hassle-free jobs and quality relationships at competitive prices. From plants to irrigation to hardscapes, Stovall truly has it all. Check us out at StovallInc.com.
This is Tom, the honest car guy, and we got a surprise call in from a customer of ours, Travis, out in Jefferson, Georgia. Travis, good to hear from you, buddy. You want to tell a little bit about the experience you had with me at the honest car guy?
The whole experience, honestly, was one of the smoothest car experiences that we've ever gone through, meaning that there's no pressure. There's no runaround. It's just straight up honest service. The price that you guys present or find for you, that's what you are going to pay. And you just get a great deal. I've been educated to a newer process of the car dealership game. You guys have not come in and you're setting the benchmark for how car dealing and car buying and car selling really should be.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
It's 2 a.m. and everyone is asleep, except for the potential intruder walking up your driveway. This is Matt Harvey with Alert 360 Security, and we stop criminals in their tracks with our floodlight video surveillance cameras. Our floodlight surveillance cameras notify you of activity, activate flashing lights, and verbally inform any potential intruders that they are being recorded. Stop break-ins before they occur with Alert 360 Security. Visit us on the web at alert360atlanta.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Friday, July 24th, and here are your headlines. A U.S. Secret Service agent assigned to Vice President J.D. Vance's security detail is under investigation for allegedly leaking sensitive operational information. Secret Service says the agent is facing an administrative investigation and a possible criminal inquiry, adding that any conduct that could jeopardize protectees' safety will not be tolerated. The federal government is increasing the standard millage reimbursement rate, for people who use their personal vehicles for work. Officials say the change reflects rising gas prices and is intended to help offset higher driving costs. And finally, Georgia's chronic absenteeism rate has fallen to a new post-pandemic low, with 17.7% of students missing 10% or more days of school. State education officials say schools are using attendance data to identify why students miss class and have found personal outreach to families is more effective than automated calls. Be sure to grab an umbrella and a raincoat on your way out the door, with expected rain for most of the afternoon with a high of 82, a low of 73. With your Extra 106.3 headlines, I'm Bryce Colbert.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3, 8 o'clock hour, brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert, 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. There is really, really good news, and it's not being discussed. You should know about it, because if you look at mainstream media, they tell you everything is just falling apart. It's the worst it's ever been. How could you vote for Donald Trump or that party? It is time for change. Now, the change they're telling you need is obviously socialism and communism, so you'd never want that. But there are so many victories that are just getting overlooked.
We're in a transitionary period, and let me give you the numbers in just a moment. We're in a transitionary period in which we know that technology is whatever 2026 is, 2031 is going to be completely different. 2036 is going to be unimaginable versus 2026. That's how fast our AI technology is picking things up, changing the workforce, changing the way we're going to live. It's getting that fast. And so because of that transition, we have had business leaders talk about how we need to be at the forefront of this technology. We need to be at the forefront when it comes to how our manufacturing is going to change, how our labor is going to change. We need to be all over this. What we've seen from the Trump administration is a decline in the federal workforce. We need more money in the private sector to facilitate this change. And so what are we at now? We're at the lowest amount of the size of the federal workforce since the 1960s. All right, that's how much they've cut it. Well, hear this from Polymarket as of yesterday. Breaking. U.S. unemployment claims plunged to their lowest level since 1969. Now, you can talk about first-time unemployment claims. And if you talk about first-time unemployment claims, well, it's at the lowest level since 1969. That's what it looks like for July. If you want to compare this historically, and I was able to pull up the numbers on this. For instance, when we went through the Great Recession,
2008,
we got as high as 7.3% in this country. And the Obama administration had a very difficult time. Remember the shovel-ready jobs and everything, all the money they spent, which basically was to reinforce the unions. They didn't do anything when it came to the proliferation of jobs. Now, if you take a look at where we were during that period, on average during the Great Recession, it was a 5.8. So it was extremely high. What have we been recently? Well, we've been sitting in the low 4s, 4.2. Now, the number looks like, if we're getting in July, by the prognostication from Polymarket and the rest of what we're getting from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, looks like we're going down into the 3s. And, full employment, depending on how many people are in this country, is going to always be sitting right around 4% anyway. So what I'm telling the story is we're going through a revolution in terms of what kind of jobs are going to survive and what people are going to have to learn, and technology-wise, what is going to change.
It's been dubbed the new industrial revolution.
Yet, when it comes to our unemployment rate and unemployment claims, we're getting to as low as since 1969. This is a transitionary period, but this administration, I believe, has set us up to do this the right way, in part because you got so many private dollars out of the federal government.
No, I think so, too. And then you think about all the companies that Donald Trump and his administration have brought back the reindustrialization of America. I think that is obviously going to be good for blue-collar people, blue-collar work, the people that can work with their hands and do a job. When Donald Trump had, whether it's Toyota or whomever, whatever company it is, bringing back to America their manufacturing, that sets up people for success. There's a reason he's doing it.
And keep in mind, I don't believe we're going to see, in terms of our manufacturing jobs, I don't think we're going to see some massive number moving forward, because AI is going to reduce the labor force there naturally. I mean, think about what happens when you make a phone call to, for instance, you call AT&T to talk about your cell phone bill. You realize how long it takes before you speak to somebody? And do you realize the AI that is answering the phone? There's even a local electrician that I've used plenty of times in the past that advertises with this company, and it's TE certified. When I contacted TE last time to help me out with some work that we were doing in our basement, I initially had an AI that was going through text messaging, and then an AI voice that answers the phone to facilitate me to the right situation, right person to talk to. Now, somebody previously sat at that desk and did that for $12 an hour, $10 an hour. All right, those jobs are going to go away. And so I think the biggest indicator of how well we're handling it is, can we keep our unemployment low, in this case, first-time claims since 1969, while also going through this transition?
To piggyback on that, some friends of ours last weekend went and saw the Parker McCollum concert. I had a couple tickets. One of Jacob's buds wanted to go. I was like, dude, just jump on Ticketmaster or SeatGeek or whatever and just grab you one, lawn ticket. You'll be able to find one. He did, but in the in the haste, he accidentally bought one for Cuyahoga, Ohio.
No.
I was like, no worries. So I went on, bought him one. It was, $40, whatever. It's like, well, what are we going to do with this one? No problem. We're going to sell it. But for whatever reason, Ticketmaster, who has that venue wherever it is in Ohio, hadn't turned on the ability to resell your ticket. So I was like, well, we'll go back to SeatGeek. And sure enough, I was like, how do I do this? I went and there was a little drop-down chat. It was the AI, went through it, and it walked me through it step by step. Listed, sold in less than an hour.
And that is probably a $15 an hour job that will not exist any longer. So how do we handle the transition? And how do we still keep people employed and still have jobs available? And if you've done any of the research on this, this is why the trades are picking up so much. We have a deficit of plumbers and electricians. We have six-figure jobs and jobs where you can start a company and own the company and make a crazy amount of money if you're willing to get your hands dirty. That's where things are kind of changing in this country now.
Mike Rowe said $240,000 is what electricians are making to wire up data centers. Now, I know data centers are a hot topic, and I get it. A lot of people don't want it in their backyard, whatever. We had Rick Jackson on, and he was like, some of those people in South Georgia really want it because they don't have any other
They want the tax revenue from it.
They want to be able to benefit, lower their own taxes through it. So I understand the tug of war going on there.
Yes, to me, it's right for some.
Yeah, and
some
not for
areas,
everybody.
it's not for everybody.
But he said, Mike Rowe, and I feel like it was Joe Rogan he was talking to. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was. And he said $240,000 a year is what some of these kids that are 25, they're getting paid.
Sean Ryan, by the way.
Oh, it's Sean Ryan. Okay.
Yeah.
To wire in data centers. Dude, the opportunities are out there. That's why I've talked to my own son about getting an electrician's certificate through a trade school when he's done with his MBA. That idea came from another guest on this show, Dr. Rich McCormick.
That's going to be for down the road. I will figure out how to do this online than in practice. And so when I finally check out from behind this microphone, the next time you see or hear from me, I will be showing up at your door with my name on my shirt. And I'll be sitting back going like, yeah, listen, I just started this company.
Yeah.
Is what we're doing.
Yeah, but I'm making a grip of money because $240,000 a year is pretty enticing.
We have a deficit of people that can work with their hands. That's 100%. Where it is. If you're thinking about, hey, I'm going to be the next school administrator. Well, okay, good for you. Hopefully you do great in the community. If you think that you're going to be, I'm going to be a therapist. Like, good for you. Hope you didn't pay a lot for it.
I'm not sure. That's going to be controversial. I'm not sure I believe in therapy like that.
There is a legitimate angle where people feel that it does not work, that it's actually more based on just blaming.
And I think it can be detrimental. And when you think about the people that are in those seats, what they believe to begin with.
All right, so we bring that up versus here's the person that makes your lights work.
Yeah, right, absolutely. Who's more valuable?
Not really a lot of mumbo jumbo there.
No,
It's about regular people. And I'll even point this out. I think that when we had the chance to hear from Elon Musk, and Elon yesterday, he ends up getting interviewed by the editor-in-chief of, I'm trying to remember the publication.
Economist.
Oh, The Economist. There we go. And she decides that she's going to ask about his affiliations. This was my point on X. If you want to have an interview or even a debate with someone, leave your emotions at the door. Better have your facts straight because you come across as a silly person. And Elon Musk, the world's first trillionaire. You want to talk about the difference in the two. Here's the editor-in-chief of The Economist, and here's Elon Musk, the world's richest man. One of them comes across as grounded in sanity. The other does not.
You support not just the populist right, but the far right. In fact, very fringe parties in some countries.
No, I support the normal people.
Okay.
What do you call the far right? Falsely.
You think as the normal person. Okay.
Yes. Literally, you could go back 10 or 15 years, and these policies were completely normal. In fact, one of the tricks that I think is funny. One thing that's quite funny is to like take a speech from Obama and Hillary, and then go to someone and say, who's sort of on the sort of what I call the lunatic left, and say, what do you think of the speech by Trump? I'm like, oh wow, he's the worst person ever. Actually, that was a speech by Obama, or actually, that was a speech by Hillary.
I agree. No, I agree that the center of gravity in this country has shifted. Certainly, the Democratic Party shifted to the left, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people like Rupert Lowe. I'm talking about people.
It's actually just normal people. It's just normal people. It's just normal people, and here are the principles. And tell me which of these sound terrible. That we should have secure borders. That we should have safe cities. That we should have sensible spending. Which of those three are far right fringe? And I would like to just admonish you and the media for the absurd characterization of the far right. It is false and misleading and nonsense. Please keep this part in.
We'll keep all of this in, but let me
Don't cut this part.
So that is Zanny Minton Beddoes. And as she's trying to align Elon Musk with the far right, he's like, what's so far right about secure borders? Safe cities. It's like, what am I saying, or who am I aligning with that comes across as crazy? Normal people want this stuff. But as you can see, this plays into, hey, I'm just a normal guy. I work with my hands. Well, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, there's something terrible.
Nothing.
No,
in fact, it's snapping back. You're going to be compensated better than the person who's thinking up different ways for you to, go get some sort of weird therapy or a life coach. I'm a life coach. Sorry. I'd rather be friends with the electrician.
Absolutely. Me too. But it boils down to, and this is a fault of the parents, it boils down to what's on that neighborhood sign after graduation.
Sure, that is a factor.
Dude, I'm telling you, the ego that is in the parents are just as guilty as anybody. Well, look, my kid's going to XYZ University, Georgia, Georgia Tech, or Tennessee, or Ole Miss, or Alabama, or wherever. And they want it to reflect good on them. What are they going to put? Lanier Tech, or are they going to put? Yeah, right. Of course, if they're smart, the answer is yes, or whatever trade school. Who gives a damn about the sign in the front of the yard? If you're worried about that, your priorities are all wrong.
And there is a societal pressure there.
Absolutely.
Because I do think about this when it comes to my 15-year-old. When we talk about what she could potentially study, I'm in that weird place as dad of trying to make sure, hey, I want you to be marketable after we're done here. At the same time, and I say we because it's a partnership. I'm there to support you. I'm there to house you. I'm there to help you get through there. I'm there to, if you have questions about classes.
Present, which is the most important.
Your mom and dad are going to be helpful. We're not just sending you off and being like, here you go. Socially, you do whatever you want. When you have questions, we're here to help. I also am cognizant of there's stuff she wants to do where I would tell her that is not going to be helpful to you down the road.
And here's why. Because that's the key. That's the key, is bringing in the why. Because they have to listen. Your kids have to listen to you. Grandkids have to listen to you all the time. Tell them right from wrong. Tell them here's what you should do. Here's what you should not. Finally, when you get to that point, you have to explain the why. That way they don't just reject it because you're the one telling them. Because kids have the tendency to do that.
My daughter has a big interest in cooking, culinary. And there's a part of me that goes, well, I know friends of mine who have gone to culinary school and they've become chefs in Dallas and Fort Worth, and they run amazing restaurants, and it's a cool life once you get to that point. It's like interning at a radio station. Sucks until it doesn't. But at the same time, I'm thinking, I want you to go and follow your dream, which is to play college volleyball and to do your thing. Well, doesn't it seem kind of strange that we would be sending you to a 4-year university to study culinary?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how this pays off in the right way, but that's
you got to
balance it out.
Yeah, you got to figure out the right route. And there's so much that she can do, man, business wise, and then go to culinary, like a culinary, Art Institute of Atlanta. I don't know. I was making it up. After she gets her business degree, and that way she knows how to run her business, and she's the head chef of her business.
And now that's the discussion that you have to have. Again, be marketable, be knowledgeable.
David at 404-741-1230. What's on your mind, David?
Hey, guys. Yeah, my neighbor, his son went straight out of high school into the Navy specifically to become a CB because the CBs are going to teach him how to operate heavy equipment.
Yeah, exactly.
He'd come out and go right to work.
100%, David. Thank you so much. And it's kind of like what Donald Trump talked about with the 18-wheelers.
Yeah, that if you've been working heavy equipment in the military, that should set you up to immediately have your CDL license in order to be able to operate any sort of equipment in this country. If the federal government, if the U.S. military trusts you with multi-million dollar pieces of hardware, how does that then not qualify you when you get out to work with pieces of hardware like
I don't know why the military trusted me with anything.
I know.
I think they had a lapse of judgment that day. Whatever was going on.
What's this button do? Oh, tomahawks.
Oh, tomahawks to follow. Morning Xtra at Xtra 106.3. One man running in the U.S. Senate race here in Georgia is keeping Ulta Beauty in business. Next on Xtra.
Xtra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Friday, July 24th. The Atlanta Braves took 3 of 4 from the San Diego Padres, including a 6-5 win yesterday afternoon at Truist Park. That closes out the homestand with a 5-2 record. The 17 games in 17 days continues tonight in Baltimore as the Braves take on the Orioles in a 3-game weekend series. It'll be Grant Holmes on the mound. He'll be opposed by Trevor Rogers. First pitch is set for 7:05 tonight. You can hear all the game action on our sister station, 680 The Fan, and for free on the Fan app. From the NFL, Atlanta Falcons rookies are reporting to training camp beginning today. As for the veterans, they'll be required to report next week on July 28th. The first full team practice is set for July 29th. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
The summer's got you thinking about hitting the road, and with back to school right around the corner, you need a vehicle built for the road and safe enough for the family. And Subaru of Gwinnett has it for you. Like the 2026 Subaru Outback, which will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus up to 32 miles per gallon. And if you're up for adventure, it'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance, more than the Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4. Or the 2026 Subaru Forester, the SUV for all you love. It's the right size SUV for all the adventures ahead, with a spacious and comfortable interior for everyone you want to bring along. And no matter where adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you'll love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Glavin, and when my ride needs a wash, I head straight to Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Their friendly team and industry-leading technology give my car the ultimate shine every time. Experience an elite clean you can count on at Tidal Wave Auto Spa, the official car wash of the Atlanta Braves and my go-to car wash destination.
My car is happy. I am happy. Tidal Wave Auto Spa.
Hello, folks. This is your captain speaking. As we prepare to take off, I'd like you to draw your attention to the dimmed lights, lit candles, and soothing sounds of smooth jazz. We'll be making love shortly and taking off in just a moment. Please fasten your seatbelts and enjoy the ride. And this is your captain speaking again. As you can see, we're experiencing engine failure. Looks like we're not going to get this bird off the ground tonight.
Sound like your sex life? Did you know that 50% of men over 50 struggle with some form of ED? If you're struggling with ED, we understand the feelings of embarrassment, stress, and sadness. But there is help. You need Dr. Deal and Total Body Therapy of Georgia. They specialize in treatments like the P-Shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, and Trimix. Schedule your appointment today. Call 404-777-1911 and learn more online at tbtofga.com.
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby. A divide is deepening in the Democratic Party over Israel. More than half of all House Democrats recently voted to slash more than $3 billion in aid for Israel. All but a handful of Democrats used to support Israel. Democratic Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman said he would desert his party if the party deserts Israel. The House vote, which split Democrats about Israel, exposed internal fissures. Democratic Texas Representative Greg Kazar chairs the Congressional Progressive Caucus. He says on Israel, quote, nothing will be the same on this issue ever again. House Democratic Caucus Chairman Pete Aguilar said, quote, the actions the Prime Minister has taken has not made it easier for us to be supporters of a strong U.S.-Israel relationship. Pro-Israel Republicans worry about the Democrats' anti-Israel tide. GOP Florida Representative Randy Fine says, quote, crazies captured the Democratic Party and that Democrats are now supported, quote, by people who hate Jews, close quote. With the Speaker's Lobby, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
The legend Neil Bortz is live every week on the Morning Extra, and here's what you missed.
I've noticed that birds migrating in the V formation, one side of the V is always longer than the other one. Why is that? And AI came back. Are you kidding me?
That's really the answer? No way. That was not the answer.
Said, are you kidding me? It's because there's more birds on that side.
Catch the full segment at extra1063.com or anytime on the Extra 1063 app.
Tug and Los until 10 here on Extra 1063.
Yes, sir.
Always grateful that you're here and spending time with us. And it makes Los a holler sometimes, you know, and get fired up.
We just had a protein cookie.
That's right. Well, look.
Out of my mind now.
That's right. He's back. He's back. He's doing karate chops in the studio. It's amazing. You should see it. If you're on the YouTube channel, like the extras are, you could actually see the actual hayas.
Yeah, it was really strange. I did one of those, like, you know, where you put your hands on the floor, but you put your feet on the wall. Mm-hmm. I just sat there that way.
Yeah, that's impressive.
And then I tried to use my karate means open hand.
Open hand, I've learned.
And I tried to cut our couch in half, but it did not work.
Well, that's because it's the Eric Church edition. It's a tough couch.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, Eric Church, the country singer, did that partnership with Rooms to Go. I think that's where it came from. And yeah, it's a tough couch.
It's a tough couch. And it's things that don't make sense. Right.
It's just that thick leather. It's hard to open-handed.
Hi-ya.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried.
A full couch. But I bet you could do like a cinder block.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no
Easily.
problem. Yeah, that just a random piece of wood. No problem.
Yeah. When I think of tough people, Los comes to mind with the open-hand karate.
Ha!
People like that, play rugby. Those are tough people. When I think of people that are not tough, John Ossoff comes to mind.
Oh, why?
I don't know if he plays any sports. If he did, it's probably soccer. I just the way that some of those soccer players are, I feel like that's what it would have to be, is that he would be a soccer player. And the other reason, maybe this has escaped you, maybe you don't realize that this has happened, but it has. John Ossoff is a guy that is keeping Georgia's Hollywood makeup artists in business.
Can I call a quick timeout?
Yes, for sure.
Because soccer is physical. Right?
It is.
Not looking to argue.
No, definitely not. It's physical, yes.
I thought maybe he'd played tennis. No, he did not. Do you know what he played in high school?
Oh, my gosh.
Equestrian.
Pole vault.
Ultimate Frisbee.
Is that like a varsity sport? Ultimate Frisbee is a varsity sport?
He competed in an invitational tournament in Frisbee.
Oh, okay. All right. And look, I'm sure that's fun. I'm sure it's fun. But he's such a pretty boy. This dude spends thousands of dollars on makeup services from an artist who worked on movies like The Notebook. He spent more on makeup than any federal candidate this year, beating out Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Rashida Tlaib, according to the Washington Free Beacon.
You ever worn makeup?
Some TV something kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, I was sent over to Mac one time. I was told this is what you need.
Okay.
And I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in the house. Like
Okay.
I still have my brush.
I didn't.
My little compact.
The handful of times that I've done TV, I was just like, I'm good.
I would just like to point out that for the years that I did it, I still have the same compact from like 8 years ago because I never went through that much. John Ossoff actually spent more than
AOC and Rashida Tlaib.
Oh my God, it's incredible.
The makeup artists.
You got to be putting on daily if that's the case.
I would, and maybe he's doing that much TV. Makeup artist. Her name is Stephanie Ponder. $2,887 for makeup services since February. Most recent payout, $900, came on June 10th. This dude is paying Miss Ponder, this freelance International Alliance of Theatrical Stage and Employee, who offers services for all phases of makeup, film, video, print, and runway. Even worked on Remember the Titans way back when. John Ossoff is keeping Ulta Beauty. He's keeping Mac in business here in the state of Georgia. If you go to Mike Collins' Twitter page, we just learned that he shared some of his interview with us here on the Morning Xtra on his social page. Now, he's a truck driver type guy, and I grew up around truck drivers. Have a family friend who ran a trucking company for years. He's passed that on to his daughters now, and it's still very successful. I never saw my friend and our family friend Donald wear any makeup. I'm guessing Mike Collins, who's also in the trucking industry, probably don't wear makeup. Now, if there's some truckers out there listening right now and you do wear makeup, I don't mean to offend. I've just never seen it before.
And just clarify. Now, it used to be, depending on like what news broadcast you were part of, they would have a makeup chair and there'd be a makeup person that would put makeup on you, especially when the era of HD really got going in the early 2000s. Put makeup on you so you didn't scare the little ones. Right? But now it's turned into when you have so many home studios or local TV stations that are running on a different budget, you're in charge of your own. The fact that man, John Ossoff, spent $900 in a 10-day span on 10 days, $900. I have 3 girls living in my house. We're nowhere close.
And then since February, a total of almost $3,000.
And 2 of them wear makeup. The third one doesn't. We're still not even. When she does, she has very little interest in it. But we still won't even get close to $900 in the span of 10 days.
I found Miss Ponder's work credits, commercials, and video. Bank of America, Home Depot, Coca-Cola, the WCW back in the day, some wrestling, Dodge, NASCAR, Pike Nurseries.
Total Pro.
Southern Living presents. They've done a feature on her, the magazine. Georgia Traveler, What's TV, all these people coming out to do documentary pieces on this woman because she's been so successful in the movie industry here in Georgia. John Ossoff says, I must have that.
I'm kind of curious if you were more of an NWO guy.
No, I was always a good guy. Like, I never fell for the... I even did... Like, now, looking back, I loved Ric Flair. Woo! But when I was a kid, I loved the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
American Dream.
Because he would, take Ric Flair to the mat, and I just wanted to see Dusty Rhodes win because he was a big, hefty, regular, blue-collar dude. And Ric Flair was talking about Mercedes-Benz and the...
limo driving.
And models and all the expensive clothes. And he used to call himself what roller coaster at Disney World that's in the dark?
Space Mountain.
Space Mountain.
If you wanted to ride Space Mountain.
Yes. And I remember hating him because I was like, you're everything that I'm not. And I don't want to be.
He also lived it up.
Oh, yeah, totally did.
And he wasn't kidding around. He was spending that money. He was was living the character.
But no, so I wasn't NWO or Ric Flair. I was Mac and Dream Dusty Rhodes.
Okay. I was just curious because now that I have done a little bit of documentary research, that night of SummerSlam when Hogan turned heel,
I remember it.
That changed everything.
It certainly did.
For any boys that ate cereal out of the bowl and wore whitey tighties.
Just watching
wrestling.
Midnight Express or the Rock and Roll Express, the Road Warriors. God, I loved them. I loved it when I was a kid, man.
They did get into Ultimate Warrior.
They did?
Yeah, they were like, this is supposed to be the heir apparent, and he's terrible.
Yeah, but he's juicing. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, they were all juicing, but he was
major.
Different level.
No kidding. The DSA has had a change of messaging to throw you off the scent next on Extra.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Well, the communist with the great smile, Zoran Mamdani, is really facing a harsh reality on all these promises that he made to low-information New Yorkers to get elected mayor. The promise of free buses? He has discovered that the projected loss revenue for the city will be $1 billion. Suddenly, that idea is off the table. Oh, and he was going to arrest Netanyahu. Oh, Mamdani finds out he's not a dictator yet, so that's off the table. Oh, and the grocery stores. He promised 5. They only have locations for 2, and the first one won't even open until late next year. But I want to tell you a little bit more about the DSA, Democratic Socialist of America, a.k.a. the USA Communist Party. A Mamdani sycophant by the name of Gustavo Cordillo was on Fox News earlier this week, criticizing New York landlords. Those evil, evil landlords, most of whom, by the way, are middle-class New Yorkers. Gordillo is upset because, as he said, landlords in New York have been making a 12% return on investment. And he's saying the landlords are complaining that that's not enough. But here we get to the meat of this commentary about the DSA, the AOCs, and the rest of it. You really need to know how they think. Gordillo right now is saying we need a constitutional amendment to prohibit anybody from making a double-digit return on an investment, whether it's in real estate, stocks, bonds, gold, silver, whatever. If you make more than a double-digit return, you've broken the law and should be prosecuted. Oh, these people are going to be a lot of fun, the more of them that get elected. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
This is Tom, the Honest Car Guy, and I'm here with Ron. And I'll let Ron tell you a little bit about his experience with us, and not only that, but the differences between a new car dealership and the Honest Car Guy, because there is a difference, with no doc fees and no addendums. It's kind of straightforward. They get to see what we pay for the car, and that's not something you get at a dealership.
Usually we're back and forth, and then you get like 1,400 pages of paper. And in this case, we did it all online. I mean, it was like, okay, I don't mind doing paperwork once I know that this is the deal.
And you got to see the financing, the numbers
up front
all before you even bought it. You can make that call, and within hours, we can find you the car you want from your home. I mean, I had a customer call me and say, hey, I bought a car in my pajamas.
If I'd had some, I'd have been wearing them.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station. Extra 106.3 FM.
Not enough pain. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. There have been 13 straight nights of airstrikes in Iran, and President Trump says he might order a major attack, telling Axios Iran has not received enough pain yet.
He is seriously considering restarting major combat operations in Iran, including strikes that would be bigger than the ones carried out in Operation Epic Fury. He says, I am considering a massive attack bigger than ever before. I am close to making a decision. We are all set for it. Iran, though, has refused to capitulate despite the strikes. It rejected a U.S. ceasefire deal presented by Iraq. Iranian and Iraqi officials tell the New York Times. The sticking point was reportedly over the Strait of Hormuz. Tehran's not interested in a temporary deal that leaves that issue unresolved.
It's Fox's Madeline Rivera. As it was in 2024, immigration is shaping up to be a polarizing topic for voters in the midterm elections. Fox's Bill Malugin has more.
Now that the border's quiet, the conversation has shifted to what should be done about the millions of illegal immigrants already here. And some Democrats want immigration enforcement ended entirely. More migrant crime is back in the headlines. A Salvadoran illegal immigrant is now charged with felony hit and run causing serious injury or death after police say he killed 3 people in a crash in North Carolina on Saturday, then tried to flee the scene. But new Fox News polling reveals Democrats are gaining serious ground on immigration after getting destroyed on the topic in 2024. When asked which party would handle immigration better right now, Democrats now have a 1-point lead over Republicans, 50 to 49%.
Republicans had an 8-point lead over Democrats on immigration in the Fox News polling in April. President Trump's replacing tariffs that expired today with new ones, 10 to 12.5% on imports from 60 countries accused of inadequately enforcing bans on goods produced by forced labor. America's listening to Fox News.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Thank God it's Friday. Yes, sir, it is Friday. Thank God it's Friday. George Jones on a Friday tells me that it's the 9 o'clock hour, the hour that can occasionally be like a slip and slide. You just don't know which way you're going to go. George does, though.
I've got $100.
George always knows.
Well, as the possum, you can't really question him because you don't know what a possum is going to do anytime.
Absolutely. They'll hiss at you. I know that. And they will hang upside down in a tree.
True.
They'll do that. Play dead.
They move erratically.
That's right. They do all kinds of things, man. You just don't know what's going to happen. And George Jones, the reason they called him the possum, I feel certain, was the fact that he was unpredictable.
He hissed at people?
Hey, what?
He hissed at people?
Maybe not that, but just being unpredictable, to what Los was talking about. He would sometimes show up, sometimes he didn't. No-Show Jones, he became known as No-Show Jones because there was concerts he just wouldn't show up for.
I remember Bass Performance Hall in Fort Worth. It's like the really cool performance hall in downtown, right in Sundance Square. And when George Jones would show up, it was like a victory for the city of Fort Worth.
Woohoo! He made it!
Like, George actually got in here.
He actually made it this time. So good. And if he ever ran out of liquor drinks, he'd jump on his lawnmower. Got pulled over on a John Deere one time. It's a famous story about George Jones.
AI is telling me that some Nashville disc jockeys, Tommy Cutrer and Ralph Emery, started referring to him as the possum because of his facial features.
Yeah. He is. He wasn't the most attractive man.
No, pointy nose, beady eyes, but he was George Jones, man.
I still don't understand how you can get a DUI on a lawnmower.
Well,
I know we've had this conversation before, but
is being intoxicated and being
going like 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean, I understand your argument,
but you can still cause traffic issues on a lawnmower when you're intoxicated driving down the road.
Just pull off to the side, go around, give him the point.
Yeah. Your argument is valid with me. I don't know that expands to golf carts because those can get up there in speed. I think, that's probably a little different. But you're right about the lawnmowers. I mean, you could walk beside it.
Even if people are just honking as they go by.
Yeah.
I'm just pointing out the man was on an X mark. That thing goes considerably faster.
Okay,
I can see why you would get that. But he
did. I don't think George had an X mark.
I don't think he had an X mark.
I don't think those have been around yet. If John Deere was, if I had to guess, it'd be John Deere. But
you want to know about his? Okay, so this was May 26, 1982. He was arrested for DUI on Interstate 65 between Brentwood and Franklin. Around 7 p.m., police stopped him for erratic driving. A half-empty bottle of whiskey was found in the car, and his vehicle lacked a proper license plate.
Wow.
It had a cardboard-marked possum. He reportedly resisted and confronted a TV cameraman filming the scene.
That
He
is
later
awesome.
pled guilty.
Dude, that is awesome.
Just going after the cameraman. Cameraman's like, he got the hot tip. They're pulling over George Jones on the interstate. Get a camera crew out there. George is like, damn you. It just started coming swinging.
Half-empty whiskey bottle was found. Vehicle lacked a proper license plate. It had cardboarded marked
Dude, I love
possum.
It had a license plate, it sounds like to me.
Yeah, man. Yes,
I'm
it
on
did.
Georgia's side.
Dude, absolutely. I'm always on Georgia's side. When George is wrong, he's still right.
Welcome to 9 o'clock hour. I'm glad we played George Jones.
God rest his soul.
Possum.
Dude, the possum was the greatest of all time, man. And, he recorded the greatest country song of all time. From 1980, He Stopped Loving Her Today is the greatest country song of all time. And I will fight you over it, yes. Because I've had conversations with people, and they're like, no, it takes too long to get to the chorus. It can't be the greatest greatest country song in American history. And I'm like, oh, you clearly don't know your country music. That's okay. It's all right. One day you'll figure it out. One day you'll come around.
You'll come around.
That's right. It may take you a minute, but you'll figure it out. It's
You just have to open up your heart. It's not so much the music. It's more you.
Yeah, you're the problem.
Yes.
I love it. Welcome to the Friday edition of the Morning Xtra, Tug and Los until 10 here on Extra 106.3. The first thing to know this morning about these Democrat socialists that we're up against.
They want you awake, informed, and ready to fight for the facts of the day in the land of the free. Now your sleepyhead nation needs your wake-up call. A mighty dose of reality coming in strong. Soon as the sun cracks the horizon so high, man, we got the story, no time for a lie.
He's a pretty low IQ individual.
This is what I've been pointing out during this Friday show. This has been a great week for us within the conservative movement, in part because the media can't seem to get enough of the DSA. Now, we have a bunch of Republicans in the Senate that apparently can't get anything done. That's worthy of criticism, and it'll continue to be on this radio show. We'll do it on a regular basis. But we've also been pointing out, here's where, when the DSA gets more exposure, the more damage it's actually doing to the movement and to the Democrat Party. Now, the Democrats are going to have to figure out what to do about it, but that's their own problem for right now. Our problem is give them as much airspace as possible. What is it in the art of war when your opponent's making mistakes?
Oh, let them.
Let them. You got the same thing. Napoleon said something very similar. When your opponent's making mistakes, don't interfere. Don't interrupt them. That is what is happening. So I want to play for you. This is Zohran Mamdani, and he was part of a news program yesterday, and here's what they're trying to drill down. The news media, I believe, sees the danger in what's going on. They probably hear about it from other Democrats in Washington. There is a freak out moment of we need to curtail what is going on here. It's going to do major damage to us in the midterms. We're going to have black Americans are going to be very upset. You'll have other minority Americans being very upset. You will have independents and moderate Democrats that will be very upset. They will stay home. So what they're trying to do is get Mamdani to take it down a notch, clean up, soften the message of socialism/communism. And so I want you to take a listen to what he says socialism is in this country.
If you go back to some of the Democrats that we most admire, FDR, LaGuardia, you will see a lot of democratic socialist principles in their vision. And if you think about a lot of what we've come to accept as just the facts of life across our country, a lot of it is also still driven by democratic socialist principles. Now, if today you and I were to introduce the idea of a building that lends out books for free, we would be slandered in the same way that so many new ideas are slandered today, and yet that's the library. And the same thing with the fire department, the same thing with public schools. And it's to say that a lot of politics has been a debate about who deserves what, and I would prefer a politics that debates how we can deliver that to everyone.
Meanwhile, Zohran Mamdani has lost $11 billion in tax revenue from people who have left the state of New York and the city of New York City. $11 billion because of his look to tax the rich at a higher level. It's not even the rich. I mean, in the city of New York, you need a certain level of income just to operate.
Just to live there, yeah.
And he has looked at it as, well, let's go get after that money. Not only that, but when you start talking about freezing the rent for 40% of the people in New York, that's a considerable amount of buildings. While the extra 60% now has the highest rents in the history of New York City, and you're discussing whether or not you need to seize private property, that's not a library, and that's not the fire department, and that's not a public school.
It's none of those things.
But he's trying to soften the message.
It's what they want to do, though, because that's the means of setting yourself up financially is owning property. And what does communism despise? Owning property. They don't want that to happen because they don't want you to be able to put yourself in a better position.
So while he's telling you about lending out books, providing education in schools, having a fire department show up to your house if it's on fire, that is what he's trying to tell you that that's what Democrat socialism is. You know, okay, if you want to equate it to that and bring up FDR, how about, I don't know, illegally putting a bunch of Japanese Americans in camps?
You know who else he's pissed off by not being aggressive enough? Hassan Piker. He says to Zohran Mamdani, shut the F up, and urged progressives to present their policies more boldly during an interview. We're not kidding. Is the podcast he was on. He said, I listened to his New York Times conversation. Exactly the same policies I'm implementing. No, definitely not. I told him, and I feel like saying, shut the F up. You've got to be more bold. You've got to tell people who you are and what you are. So, yes, he's softening because he realizes, right? Hassan Piker, nothing more than an influencer and a communist. It's like, no, you're not communist enough. Don't you dare back off.
Hassan Piker has nothing to do with my radar just because, again, he's the leader of a bunch of younger, lonely people. Just sad people.
But he's out there campaigning on behalf of these people in AOC, and he's pissed at them too.
Except here's the fun part. So if we were to go back 3 years ago, go back 2 years ago, do you remember what I said when it comes to when Donald Trump gets the abortion question, what you would say? I said, it's going to be left up to the states.
Yep.
Here's the way I view it. It'll be left up to the states and they'll figure it out. And my entire point was, do not say things that are going to make you unelectable. Hassan Piker is the perfect guy who says things that makes them all unelectable.
Absolutely right.
Like, keep talking, but at the same time, your suggestions are childish because you cannot win nationally based on the sort of things you're saying. You are a damage to what your goal is. But please, because it happens to get subscribers on Twitch,
a lot of them.
Good for you. I'm glad you're doing that. But it's no way to win.
Of course it's not.
Which Mamdani, again, is softening the message.
Absolutely.
Because he's like, how else are we going to win? The message is not good.
But the revolution never ends because we played the audio of the young DSA. What were they saying? The same thing Piker's saying. Don't back off. They want you to put the pedal to the metal, which is glorious. That's exactly what we want them to do. Tell people what you actually want.
The legitimate high point for the Democrat socialists, for the communists in this country, came under Barack Obama. And since then, you had to cheat in an election in 2020 to get anywhere near the White House. I think that there's a viewpoint within this country that as long as these people continue to move left and further left and further left, and obviously DSA is pushing them further left, they're not electable.
Which is
at least not nationally. And it's great for us. But you hear, when you see Hassan Piker going after Zohran Mamdani because, you're not progressive enough. I was like, progressivism has always been an ugly stain on this country. As much as he wanted to bring up FDR and LaGuardia, let's bring up Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah.
The head progressive of all progressives.
He went after Ocasio-Cortez, too. I think she's a bit too optics-driven. She needs to be more like what he's saying that the DSA wants. The people in office are starting to realize if we say it too loudly, it's bad. The people on the ground, the revolution, as Los has pointed out so many times, never ends, and they just want to keep the pedal to the metal. and you're not communist enough. That's exactly what Hassan Piker's saying about Mamdani and AOC. You're not communist enough.
Keep in mind, when I talked about what I would suggest to Donald Trump and ultimately what he did on the trail, Tug and I would have discussions about me saying there's a difference in what I feel and what is electable. And Tug's point was, well, I would just tell everybody, hey, I'm against abortion. I'm this. And I said, all right, here's how I would do this. I would talk about the original Roe versus Wade ruling of 1972, and I would feel more appropriate with that. But the baseline answer should always be, it's being left up to the states. Your community will decide what your standards are going to be. And that's how that question was entirely diffused. What I'm pointing out is that the energy is all on that far left portion of the DSA. And
With people like Piker, yeah.
And they're actually trying, in a weird way, they're being children.
That's right.
They like when it came to the abortion answer for Donald Trump, I was like, do you want to win or do you want to be a child? Because a child's just going to tell you what they feel. I'm mad about this. I think we should do this. Here's what I'm going to do. Or do you want to win nationally? I want to win nationally, so I was saying give out a message that'll win nationally. Hassan Piker and the rest of the children are being children.
Let them.
And he's going.
But it's beautiful.
AOC is actually trying to play the game correctly. She's concerned about optics. Yes, because she doesn't have the intelligence. All right. We already saw when she did the tour of Europe. She's trying to put the genie back in the bottle that she doesn't know what she's talking about when it comes to international affairs. So, yeah, what is she doing? She's playing the game. Why do you think she's still in Congress and people like Jasmine Crockett are not? Because she's been playing the game. She softened the message. She still is, what was it that Tim Burgett called?
Friendly neighborhood socialist.
Favorite neighborhood socialist.
Friendly neighborhood socialist. Yeah.
All right, she's still all those things, but she's doing a better job of hiding it. You have to hide it. Barack Obama was the king of hiding it.
Yes, he was.
Hassan Piker does not understand that because he's a child.
That's right. All that's true. Crazy thing is, he has incredible influence over every one of them. It'll be good for us if they listen to him, which I expect that they will at some point. He said, be bold, brave, and unapologetic. And he said, we're going to have disagreements from time to time. But, I mean, come on. He wants you to lay it out there. He wants it all on display. He wants you to know how left they are and is not going to take his foot off the gas where they at least are recognizing that we can't win. To Los's point, we can't win that way. I hope the influence continues. Remember when we played the lady yesterday that was talking about the violence on the left and she wanted to never support that. Never support. Well, Grace Mauser, co-chair of the DSA. Well, no, we don't agree with his violent rhetoric when he said the capitalist blood needs to run in the street. No, but we have him at every campaign event, so he has incredible influence over them.
By the way, when it comes to subscribers, those are people that are actually contributing money. Hassan Piker has 1.8 million subscribers on Twitch. Just to give you an idea, a guy like Theo Vaughn, his subscription is at 4.7. Joe Rogan's is at more than 20 million. So, yeah, he's got a seat at the table.
Yeah, he does.
But it doesn't mean that the information he's giving is good.
Oh, it's definitely not.
That's the best part about it. Keep saying it.
Keep saying it. Absolutely. 100%. Let people know what you actually represent. That's what we hope to hear. It is more of let them keep talking, which has been Los's point from the beginning. Let them keep talking, and they'll tell you what they are and what they want to do. And
they'll hurt their cause on their own.
I hope so.
Stay out of their way.
Yeah, that's right.
Let them do it.
Let them do it. 100% correct. Morning Xtra on Xtra 106.3. What should you be doing to make sure that your future is secure? Evan Fricks will join us next to answer that question.
Good morning. It's Front Office Los. Let's talk about Howard Brothers and Ventrac. Some projects are going to need more than a mower. They're going to need a Ventrac. Now, here's the cool part. From mowing slopes to clearing brush, a Ventrac can handle that. But not only that, edging, blowing, trenching, you name it, Ventrac's built to power through it all. Now, how is that? Well, it has 30 changeable attachments to it. The Ventrac gives you the flexibility to adapt to the work that's in front of you, letting you take on the jobs that ordinary equipment just is not going to be able to handle. See what Ventrac can do for your projects. Call Howard Brothers or visit howardbrothers.com and schedule your demo today.
You can stream Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station while you work at extra1063.com. Get the latest from the Morning Extra, The Kimmer Show, and Neil Bortz, and stay connected at the office. That's xtra1063.com.
The Braves are honoring legend Andrew Jones's induction into the National Baseball Hall of Fame with a special celebration at Truist Park on July 30th. Make sure to arrive early to the game for his bobblehead giveaway presented by Curacao. Feel it for yourself. Then head inside the ballpark to take pictures with his Hall of Fame plaque and watch the on-field presentation recognizing his iconic career. Visit Braves.com/promos to purchase your tickets. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves country.
I'm Michelle Stovall, and our company has been family-owned and operated for 75 years. Check us out at StovallINC.com, or better yet, stop by our newly opened 11th store at 9500 Union Hill Road in Canton. At Stovall, we supply you with all your landscaping project needs, completely hassle-free down to delivery. Been dreaming of an outdoor kitchen, fireplace, or other custom paver project? We partner with Keystone Hardscapes for all your beautiful high-end concrete needs. We look forward to making your landscape dreams come true. Stovall has it all.
Opioids can start as a prescription for pain, but misuse can happen quickly, and addiction doesn't discriminate. It can affect anyone. Take medications only as prescribed. Never share them and store and dispose of them safely. If you or someone you love is struggling, help is available. Call or text 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Prevention starts with awareness. Learn more at GeorgiaOpioidHelp.org. Sponsored by the Georgia Opioid Crisis Abatement Trust.
Hey, I'm Tom.
And I'm Jerry.
And we are
Tom and Jerry's Roofing.
Yes, that's our real names.
And together, we have 70 years in the roofing industry. But taking care of you and your home is our priority and our passion.
But our other passion is taking care of veterans, and that's why every roof we do gives back to the vets.
That's right, Tom. First, we take care of your roof, and then we take care of the brave men and women who protect us.
So if you have roofing issues, from repairs to replacement, call Tom and Jerry's Roofing and help us give back to America's heroes.
Find us at TomandJerry'sRoofing.com.
That's TomandJerry'sRoofing.com.
The right partner makes all the difference. For more than 185 years, we've forged personal relationships with our customers and communities, funding economic development and rallying around the causes that are important to our neighbors. With the technology, products, and expertise you'd expect from a big bank and the local decision-making and commitment to community from your neighborhood bank, United Bankshares is your trusted financial partner for life. Learn more at bankwithunited.com. United Bankshares, member FDIC.
This is House Call for Health. New research suggests multiple cups of your Morning Joe may not hurt your heart's health. A recent statement published by the American Heart Association says consuming up to 5 8-ounce cups of coffee a day, that's about 400 milligrams of caffeine, is generally safe for most adults. The association says this can even be linked to lower risk of certain heart conditions, like heart failure, heart disease, and stroke in some individuals. The AHA says these findings apply to black coffee, and that adding sugar, syrups, or cream likely reduces its potential health benefits. The study says some of the health benefits of coffee may be due to other antioxidant and anti-inflammatory compounds in the drink, and that more research is needed to better understand caffeine's impact on the body. The association also says energy drinks can increase the risk of high blood pressure and irregular heart rhythm. For more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Friday, July 24th, and here are your headlines. A U.S. Secret Service agent assigned to Vice President J.D. Vance's security detail is under investigation for allegedly leaking sensitive operational information. The Secret Service says the agent is facing an administrative investigation and possible criminal inquiry, adding that any conduct that could jeopardize a protectee's safety will not be tolerated. The federal government is increasing the standard millage reimbursement rate for people who use their personal vehicles for work. Officials say the change reflects rising gas prices and is intended to help offset higher driving costs. And finally, Georgia's chronic absenteeism rate has fallen to a new post-pandemic low, with 17.7% of students missing 10% or more days of school. State education officials say schools are using attendance data to identify why students miss class and have found personal outreach to families is more effective than the automated calls. Grab an umbrella on your way out the door today, with an expected rainfall for most of the day, especially in the afternoon, with a high of 82 and a low of 73. The Extra 106.3 headlines, I'm Bryce Gobert.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 1063. We're so glad that you're here. There's so many things to talk about when it comes to the news of the day. And sometimes it starts international, sometimes it starts across the country, but sometimes it's as local as your back pocket. And we welcome Evan Ward. He is the guest on the show, and his show airs here on Extra 1063 from Atlas Retirement. Dude, what's up, man? How you been?
I'm doing good, man. Good to see you.
You too. Been busy. I know your son's here with you. He's probably getting ready to head back to college, and people are starting to get into fall mode. Do you think that changes the way people think about what they do with their money? Because all of a sudden you start writing checks. I know I've done it.
Oh yeah.
My son had a small scholarship to play baseball at College of Charleston, and on the surface that sounds fantastic. Like, oh, you got a baseball scholarship. Wow, that's huge. Well, yeah, it's about $10,000 and it costs $60 to go. So guess who puts the rest of that
We will take
bill?
one finger off your hand. The rest of it belongs to us.
So with all of that, and we got kids getting ready to go back to middle school and high school. Do you think it changes the way people approach what they're doing? Maybe a little different than it maybe in the summer?
Oh, completely. Well, I mean, during the summer, if your family's anything like mine, you spend more money in that summer than you do practically the rest of the year, at least for the holidays. But then the bills start coming due as the kids start going back to school, and that's why it hits home right then.
Our July Amex is one of our greatest fears because June, and in fact, Evan, the fun part was we did, for volleyball tournaments, Orlando, Minneapolis, and then Indianapolis. And I knew come mid-July is that moment when that thing shows up in the mail. But we spend all year having to plan for just that particular bill.
Absolutely. Yeah, July and December, right? Those are the two times you're dreading that bill coming.
Yeah, that's right, paying off. So with everything that's happening around the world, and some things are more expensive, some things are less expensive. Gas seems to be trending back upwards. Where should people have their head right now? How do they secure their own future? How do they secure the future of their kids? What is it that they should be focusing on? How do you get there to make sure that they have the best future that they possibly can?
Well, one of the pet peeves I have about my industry is we do a lot of saying you should be doing this, but none of the how do you do that, right? So when we get into those kind of conversations of, okay, market gets volatile because, like you mentioned, oil prices are going up. The Iran conflict is kind of reignited. And so you've seen just this week alone a ton of volatility, which can cause a ton of panic. And we all say, okay, well, as long as you don't panic, we'll be in good shape. Well, that's really easy to say until you're dealing with my life savings. So how do you keep from panicking? And for me, it's two major concepts that, frankly, my industry, other financial advisors do a horrible job of explaining. The first of which is know what's under the hood, right? Know what you're actually invested in. And I promise you, I see this day in, day out from people who come in my office for the first time, and we do a completely free review of their portfolio. What do you actually own? And they're blown away by two things. The first thing they're blown away by is, oh gosh, I have all my money in stocks and bonds, and I probably have more in stocks than I thought, so I have a little more exposure there than I thought. But then the quote-unquote safe money, or the quote-unquote complement to that, is bonds, which are going up and down with the way interest rates are just as volatile, right? So that's not safe. That's just a different kind of risk. But you've been led to believe that that's your safe rising tide lifts all boats. But then in 2022, stocks, the last time we saw a big stock market correction, bonds were down as much as the S&P 500. So wait a second, that was supposed to help me. But you didn't know because you didn't know what was under the hood. The other thing that's under the hood that surprises people every single time is they own a bunch of tech stocks, and tech stocks are making a lot of money right now. They own Microsoft and NVIDIA and Apple, and they're saying, okay, that's doing pretty well until it doesn't. And then they own a bunch of non-tech stocks called Google and Facebook and Amazon and Tesla. And while technically the SEC would consider those non-tech stocks, guess what? Amazon doesn't move like Walmart. It moves just like Apple. And so you think you have a well-diversified portfolio, and then we get under the hood and we say, well, actually, you own a bunch of tech stocks and non-tech stocks that are really tech stocks, but just another name. So that's the first kind of flaw, is not knowing what's under the hood. The second surprise that, again, my industry just does a really bad job of educating people on is making sure all the pieces of the puzzle work together. If I walk out the door to go to the grocery store and there are a bunch of car parts sitting in the driveway, they're the nicest car parts in the world, but they're not a car. Someone's got to put it together, and guess what, brother? That ain't me. Okay? But even if it was me, it's going to take some time. I'm not going to the grocery store for a little bit. I got to put that thing together. And so a lot of folks are nearing or entering retirement, and they're saying, okay, well, I've got all these investments. Yeah, maybe I should look under the hood, make sure I know exactly what I do have so I know what my exposure is so I can keep from panicking. But how do those pieces fit together to generate a do-it-yourself pension that, real pensions don't really exist as much anymore? How do I create one for myself? And so that's how we come together and say, no, you don't need pieces of a car. You need a fully put together car. And that's what we try to do for our clients.
This is Evan Ward, atlasretirement.net. You can always follow him there and check out any of the segments that we're doing. Let me ask you this, Evan, because I am someone, because you talk about knowing what's under the hood, had a substantial investment in real estate in Florida. We saw what was going on with the marketplace, got out of there, started moving the money around to a couple different places. And what do you tell someone like me? Because I am the person who actually wants to just put it away and not think about it, because I don't want to be stressed on a regular basis. And so as much as we can talk about, the how irrational sometimes the market's behaving, because I still believe I'm probably 20 years out from retiring, I feel comfortable putting my money into the market or putting into bonds and just saying, I don't want to look at anything. Hopefully in 10 years. Tell me, is there anything wrong with that? Because I'll follow what's going on with the housing and the real estate, but I don't want to have to follow the money every single day on a regular basis.
Oh, and I don't blame you. You got a life to live. You got a life to enjoy. And unless you do this for a living like I do, you shouldn't be paying attention to that, stressing about it every single day. That said, you really got two paths to go down. The do-it-yourself path, which means, guess what? If you're not the captain of the ship, no one's captain of the ship. Because there's ships still in the rough waters.
That's right.
It's just riding the wave with no one at the helm. So you got to be doing it, and you don't have a choice. And yeah, that comes with stress. So that's option one. And if you don't want the stress, that's probably not your option. But then option two is you got to find somebody that is knowledgeable, that you trust, and that is easily communicating. Again, not every little detail and nuance. If you want to know that, we're happy to give you every little detail
Tug
and nuance.
wants to know that.
All the time. Give me every detail.
Evan, give me a report now.
I need it now. I need it yesterday. I'm a slave driver like that. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. But most people, it's like, you know what? I just need to know conceptually how the pieces of the puzzle are fitting together and what their job is. And so you need somebody who can communicate that to you in a way that is understandable, how each piece works, but more importantly, how they fit together to get you to your destination, get you to your goal. But if you go down that road, what I would encourage you to do is kind of have that, man, if it's once a quarter, if it's once a year, that's up to you.
Just to check in and
keep tabs.
Yeah,
keep tabs on what you're actually doing so that you can evaluate whether it's moving you the right direction in the most efficient manner.
Evan Ward, Atlas Retirement. You can find them on the web, atlasretirement.net. How many people, and I'm going to let you shame me probably here, how many people know exactly what's in their 401k? Because you talk about what's under the hood.
Oh, man. Not many.
Can I throw a because I have no idea. I have no idea.
Evan, I've graduated from, and Tug and I have joked around about like putting money in a sock and burying it in the backyard. Like we're not doing that anymore. But again, we're not always plugged in with what's in our 401ks.
Well, yeah. So I'm the same in other walks of life. Like we'll use the car analogy in a second. I should know
how to change tire, change oil, whatever.
And I know how to change the tire, but I can't tell you the last time I did.
Yeah.
Because I don't. But I don't know the horsepower of my. Like I have no idea. Nor do I care.
Do you know how the PSI and the tires? Do you know that one?
I do know that one because there's a little red light that comes on if it's not where it needs to be.
Mine need to be at 35. I know that.
You know what? Mine's flashing right now. My sensor went out. I have no idea.
Yeah,
because the sensor went out. There, you need to get this fixed. But the reason I ask about people knowing about their 401k. How do y'all at Atlas Retirement help them understand what's under the hood? Help them understand what pieces go together and what's going to work together and why?
Well, I would say to the extent I have any talents, it's taking really complex concepts and making it bite-sized and easy to understand, whether that's coaching little kids in football, basketball, lacrosse, you name it, or whether it's working with folks that, man, you know what's stressful and kind of tedious and kind of not at the top of my radar? It's paying attention to every financial thing that I have available to me that I own or that I could own. Like, that gets really cumbersome when you're just trying to live your life and feel comfortable. And I'm the same way with a mechanic. I don't want my mechanic to teach me how he's about to fix my car. I just want to know how much it's going to cost and get it done, right? Because I trust the guy. I know that...
You've been there before.
Yeah. We've been down that road, and I know, okay, just fix it. I know you know what you're doing. Just get it done, and just give me the overview of here's kind of what we're doing and how much it's going to cost me, right? So that's what I would say from a financial perspective is you need to know enough to know big picture what's inside of that 401k. And what we do is we come in, or you come in, we give you a full breakdown of, okay, this is exactly what you own, not good or bad, right? Just black and white. This is what you're doing. This is kind of risk you have. This is the kind of reward you're getting. Because let's be honest, if you're going to take the risk, you better be getting paid for it, right? And then how much are you paying in costs, and how efficient is that working towards your overall goal, right? We all have that goal of our money is just a means to an end. Like, it's a weird thing to hear a financial advisor say. I understand that. But the money isn't the end-all, be-all. If we're talking about retirement specifically with your 401k, it's what's the destination? Well, I want to go visit Los's place in Florida, and I know I need to be there by Saturday, so I need to leave at this time, and I want to be here, so I don't have to drive 120 miles an hour to get there. Okay, fine. If that's your goal, one, let's be very specific about that, and then let's be evaluating on my end on a daily, weekly basis, are we on the most efficient path to get there? And if we're not, how do we get there? And then from y'all's perspective, just that temp check of, okay, we're supposed to be there Saturday at dinner time. So, are we on the right path? Are we still tracking to get there on time? Can we stop for lunch and kind of take a break from being on the road? You just got to have that, like I said, if it's annually, if it's quarterly, whatever it ends up being for you is fine. But having that systematic, periodic temp check of, okay, are we still on the right path to get to our destination on time?
This is Evan Ward, atlasretirement.net. You can always check them out there. Let me ask you about, because part of our portfolios, since the moment of their birth, for both my daughters, we've had 529 accounts for both of them, and it's been a monthly contribution since they were little kids. My oldest is 15, my youngest is 11, and we've watched all those accounts move accordingly. Well, now we've had the introduction of these Trump accounts and building wealth for when they're little. Tell the audience about, is there an advantage to putting a little bit of money in there? How exactly is that going to work now that that's been introduced to the marketplace for young people?
I think it's going to be huge. I mean, I really do think that's going to be one of his biggest legacies if people will take advantage of it, right? But I think what you're going to see, kind of like when the 401k was invented, right? And pretty much, I'm 43. Like, it's been my whole lifetime pretty much. But they didn't used to exist. Now they do, and now everybody kind of does it just because their company offers it.
Any job we would ever consider always includes, here's your 401k contributions, here's the
website to go sign up.
It's now just become part of our job lexicon.
Yeah, exactly right. And so my hope is, and my expectation is, that the Trump accounts will become something similar, because there's such a huge advantage, such a huge head start that, we all got young kids, right? And so it's going to be such a huge head start for them later on in life if we take advantage of the opportunity. But the government very, very infrequently gives us opportunities to do good things for us. They're often trying to take things from us, right?
They usually got their hand in your pocket.
Well, no, I looked at it as, wait a minute, I've already had you steal my Social Security money. Yeah, why would I contribute to something else you're just going to take from me?
I'm not sure I trust you.
Yeah, that's fair, but being more like an IRA, right. I mean, it's not a Social Security paying into one big pot and then everybody pulls from the same pot.
Right.
Because you, or in the case of our kids, they individually own it. There's some good and bad of that. One, they own it, so it's going to be much harder to yank the rug out from under them. But two, they also have the responsibility for it. Because I'm saying it's going to be a great thing, but if you're also not paying attention to it, and again, that's probably more of a every handful of years kind of thing. That's not a pay attention to it every week. But set it aside, keep adding to it, ignore it almost, and let it grow.
I'm going to say something to Evan. I'm just going to see how this is going to work right here.
Okay.
Is it kind of like a SEP?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I would say that's a really smart way of thinking about it.
Yes! Look at there. Knocking it out of the park.
Yes!
He feels better. I mean, dude, the show just ended on a high note.
As a self-employment, like a SEP IRA, you're putting into it, and again, you're getting the tax advantages off there. And so I guess that's the easiest way, because I've been asked about it, and I try and explain that, well, it's going to be what you choose to do with it.
That's 100% right. So if so obviously I'm a self-employed person.
Sure.
I have a SEP IRA for my wife and I, and if we, don't fund it, well, guess what? It ain't going to do anything.
Yeah. Where's the tax breaks off of that? Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I have one, but if I don't put any money in it, it's a little better than not having one at all. However, if you are the one responsible for making sure you know what's inside of there, either because you're doing it yourself or you have a financial advisor you trust to help you do that, then you still, even with that professional that's taking care of it for you, it's kind of keeping tabs on him every now and again. Okay, is this still doing what I need it to do? But if you do those two things, and it's not like, hey, let's not stress about it, just every year, every couple of years in the Trump account specifically. Now, SEP IRA or 401k, that's probably a little more frequent. But with those, because it's such a long time horizon, just temp check every year or two, make sure you're heading down the right road.
Evan, I want to go back to the analogy that you made with the mechanic. Because you're trusting the mechanic, right? You're going in and you trust that he's doing, and he's not overcharging, and he's not changing the oil when you just changed it last week, or telling you need new tires when you don't really need new tires. And I'm not saying that mechanics do that, but maybe I've heard of it before. Maybe
Evan, he's a little gun shy because this week his dentist told him he needed a deep cleaning, and they hit him up for like $2,000.
Yeah, let me tell you, and my whole I can't chew on the left side of my mouth. I mean, there's all kinds of things going on.
It was like the mechanic telling him, you need a new transmission. He was like, okay.
What? It seems like it's changing gears just fine. What are you talking about? But the reason I bring that up is because I wonder if there's people that get ripped off with their 401k because they either don't know what's in it, they don't know what they're paying for it. Is there things going on there that they get charged fees that they wouldn't even know exist, and they have to just trust that they're getting the best deal? It's almost like the transmission.
So this is going to sound like I'm anti-401k, and I'm absolutely not anti-401k. While you are under 59 and a half and still working for your employer, 401ks are phenomenal, especially if the company's doing company match. However, even in that circumstance, and then especially when you have more options, the negative of a 401k is you've got very limited options. 6 to 12 is what most people have, and they've got to be a cookie cutter fit for every single person that works for your company. The 20-year-old intern and the 65-year-old that's about to retire. That's got to be the same one-size-fits-all type options. So that's limiting. But two, you have what's called a 12B1 fee inside that 401k, which is your actual payment to the money manager, right? You're paying that individual company to manage your money. But then in addition to that, you're paying a third-party administrator to do payroll deduction off of your paycheck every month.
Sounds like paying them a whole bunch of stuff. Is there a way? Are there ways to reduce that, eliminate that? Is there something that you would advise people that they need to know that maybe don't even know those fees exist?
Oh, yeah. So very few people even realize that's the calculus. But here's the thing that most people can do. If you separate service, or once you reach 59 and a half, you need to go figure out whether you can move some or all of that 401k, because there's a very, very high percentage chance that you can, like almost all the time. And if you can, you could buy the exact same investments that you have inside your 401k. Now, you shouldn't, because you got 10,000 options instead of 10. But you could buy the exact same investments and only pay the 12B1 fee, only pay the actual money manager and not pay the third-party administrator any longer.
Love that idea.
And the beautiful thing is, if you are still working at that company, you just reached an age where you can do that, you can still contribute to your 401k. You can still get the company match, but you now can actually sweep out some of that money and start saving some of those costs and having 10,000 more options, which is, regardless of your goals, always more advantageous.
There you go. Evan, we appreciate it, man. There's so much. Is there anything, I guess maybe we'll end on this. Is there anything that folks need to know about what y'all do versus what maybe other financial advisors do?
Man, we're big on planning and not in a cookie cutter, hey, what's your risk tolerance? Fill out this form and it'll tell you exactly how you're supposed to invest for the rest of your life.
I can't stand that.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it.
Can you describe your risk tolerance? What do you want me to put it on a piece of paper? Yes, my entire life.
You know what my risk tolerance is? Every single client I've ever talked to is when the market's down, I'm not tolerant of risk, and when the market's up, I'm tolerant of risk. Like, that's the most ridiculous, but it's what every other person in my industry seems to do. We are very much more, if you come to meet with us for the first time, Tug, we're going to say, hey, what's your goal? You're looking to retire. When? What does retirement look like to you? What's your dream destination that we're going to? And then where are you at today? Because if my goal is to go vacation down at Mexico Beach and I'm in Atlanta now and I want to be there by Saturday, well, 1, I need to know where I'm going. 2, I need to know where I am. And 3, I kind of need to know when I'm going to get there to make sure I'm on the right road. And that's what we're all about.
It was like a GPS device, a little turn by turn.
Listen,
hey, it's Atlas Retirement, man. That's
right. You can't beat Mexico Beach.
Turn and navigation.
You're out in the Cape.
Retirement.
You're out in Mexico Beach. You can't beat it.
No, look, I'm in.
Evan knows where to go there, too.
In. You can find him, atlasretirement.net. Evan, have a great weekend, man. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Morning Xtra at Xtra 106.3. When we come back and we get wrapped up,
Tug is going to stab himself.
It's going to be amazing. There will be blood and guts everywhere. It's
just see if he'll bleed out.
Fantastic. Absolutely that. And bye-bye to insider trading. We're going to cover both next.
Xtra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Friday, July 24th. The Atlanta Braves took 3 of 4 from the San Diego Padres, including a 6-5 win yesterday afternoon at Truist Park. That closes out the homestand with a 5-2 record. The 17 games in 17 days continues tonight in Baltimore as the Braves take on the Orioles in a 3-game weekend series. It'll be Grant Holmes on the mound. He'll be opposed by Trevor Rogers. First pitch is set for 7:05 tonight. You can hear all the game action on our sister station, 680 The Fan, and for free on the Fan app. From the NFL, Atlanta Falcons rookies are reporting to training camp beginning today. As for the veterans, they'll be required to report next week on July 28th. The first full team practice is set for July 29th. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina. Hey, this is Los with David from Atlanta, who just purchased his new car with the Honest Car Guy, the new, fully transparent way to buy your next vehicle. David, tell us about your experience.
I had been looking for a vehicle for a couple months. The car buying process was a little challenging at first for me. I had some credit issues in the past, and I just happened to hear a familiar voice on the radio, and it happened to be on the Honest Car Guy ad. I got in touch with Tom. Within 2, maybe 3 days, I had a vehicle being shipped here from Orlando, Florida. I have already recommended him to family members, several friends, and I'll purchase a car from Tom when I make my next purchase for sure.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Bicycles, pool toys, sports equipment, all this stuff is moving in and out of your garage all summer long. Ugh, your poor door. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. With all this summer abuse, your garage door system has a lot that could need repair. Springs, cables, tracks, even the opener. All Four Seasons services all major brands 24/7. Our products are warranted. Our work is guaranteed. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garages.com.
Gentlemen, listen up. When it's not hard, it's really hard. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 have some form of ED? It's true, and I'm one of them. ED followed me everywhere. Heck, even my initials are ED. I'm Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia, and I know ED. It can lead to feelings of embarrassment, stress, and sadness. But there's good news. I can fix it. I fixed mine, and I can fix yours too. At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, we are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, Trimix to create an erection, and more. Guys, ED won't get better on its own, but I can help you today. Call us at 404-777-1911. That's 404-777-1911, or learn about us more online at tbtofga.com. So take it from me, ED, Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Call 404-777-1911 or online at tbtofga.com.
Hey, what's up? It's Drake Baldwin here to talk about my personal Rookie of the Year, Superior Plumbing. They say you can't be Rookie of the Year more than once, but Superior has been proving themselves for over 40 years as the GOAT of plumbing. Whenever I need a leak repaired, toilet replaced, or water heater, I call Superior Plumbing, and you should too. They handle each job with care and honesty. For Superior, there's no job too small.
For Superior, the honest one, call 770-422-PLUM.
It's the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, and more at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
Your yard, it stresses you out between the watering, the seeding, the weeding, and mowing. And no matter what you do, you're never satisfied. Have you thought about artificial turf? It's low maintenance, it's pet friendly, and it looks amazing all year round. Those in the know use ATL Turf Go. ATL Turf Go is Atlanta's top choice for artificial grass installation. Let them build you a backyard of your dreams with a custom golf or putting green, outdoor kitchen or pool deck. They even specialize in custom concrete and stonework. They handle everything from design and grading to construction and drainage solutions. So whether it's residential lawns or recreational sports fields, ATL Turf Go can build you a stress-free space you'll love. So say goodbye to mowing, maintenance, and your wasted weekends. Learn more and schedule your free in-home consultation today. Call ATL Turf Go, 678-403-2339. That's 678-403-2339. Or visit atlturfco.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Need a quick sports fix? Catch Holy Crap, It's Sports with Pete Davis every weekday at 5:20 on The Kimmer Show. It's fast, funny, and a break from the political chaos. Only on Xtra 106.3.
Tug and Los right here on the Morning Extra, finishing up for the week. I've got a small piece of information I want to share with you, Tug, because now you will understand this based on a conversation we had to end the show yesterday.
Okay.
So we were talking about, and some little bit of barbecue, a little bit of grilling. So Heath Klein, our friend who works down the hall, he's been covering ACC and SEC media days. He's now moved on to the next media day session. And apparently Jeff Traylor, he's the football coach over at UT San Antonio, UTSA, the Roadrunners. Not saying that they stole it, but they're the Roadrunners too.
It feels like it's infringing.
But when asked about the approach to college football these days, Jeff Traylor compares his desired approach to doing a 3-day cook of a brisket and says conditions in college football now have him trying to microwave a brisket.
Oh, no. You can't do that because it's going to change the texture of the meat, Los.
It's going to change everything.
You can't do that. That sounds like blasphemy.
It sounds like you're skipping the stall period and you're not going to handle the meat correctly.
You can't do that. And we learned yesterday that the stall period is a valuable part of smoking the meat.
Yeah. There you go. I read that from Heath, and I go, Tug is totally going to get that now.
No, absolutely. If you would have mentioned this the day before yesterday, I'd been like, help me understand.
Hold on. What does that mean?
I mean, anytime you throw something in the microwave, I know it's not going to be good, right? I mean, or as good. Let's say that. But now I have an actual understanding that there is something physical that happens in the stall period.
Jeff Traylor's telling you have to take your time to make it right. But the college football game does not allow you to take your time anymore.
No, right. But the thing is, I think that applies to everything in life. If it takes longer, if you do more, if you're patient through it, it turns out better.
That's what I tell myself every day when I'm holding that paint roller.
This is going to be great.
Every
Your
day.
shoulders
My
just
shoulders
on
are
fire.
on fire. My neck hurts.
It's going to be great. I know it's going to be good. I hate painting.
There's a part of me that wants to pick up that phone and call that crew and put it in the microwave, and I'm like, nope.
No. And crazy is that it would cost more and you
so much faster.
Yeah, but it would be so much faster. But the give and take, I think you've done the right thing here.
I'm trying to do it right.
I
That's
think
the goal. Do it right.
Yes, always do it right. Yeah.
Well, now you can say it's you did this.
Yes. Yeah. And the last one, we were able to say with our last basement how much we did. And now when I'll have to see when she wakes up. My wife landed from San Francisco at 5:30 in the morning.
She's to the red eye home.
Yes. So I'm sure she's probably asleep right now. In fact, she's got like a call at 10:30, so I'm going to have to check in with her and be like,
make sure she's up.
Welcome back.
Yeah, right. Welcome back to real life.
But I'm going to have to ask her, I'm like, have you been down to the basement? Have you seen the work that we've been doing down there?
That these shoulders have been carrying?
Me and these traps.
That's right. That's right. You look like Goldberg.
Oh, my God, look at these things.
Plus, I noticed your neck veins starting to pop.
That's right. I'm like, oh, hey, brother.
You look like the Gold's Gym guy. The logo for the Gold's Gym. I don't know if that's still the logo, but it used to be. There's this huge
Just
trap.
me and my paint traps.
That's right. Absolutely. No, I can't pick up my arms, love, but
Why?
look at the basement. It's amazing.
I've had my mom tell me on 2 different occasions, hey, why don't you go schedule a massage somewhere? And I'm like, because I got to paint tomorrow.
Seriously, man. Let me get
when
it
it's
all
done, then maybe. Yeah.
Then I'll go get said massage. Yes, no, I love it, dude. That's awesome, and I hope you have have had a wonderful week and the weekend. You got huge plans and you're looking forward to it, or you got nothing planned at all like me, and gonna sit around and just enjoy couch time. Probably watch a little more Little House on the Prairie. Can't ever tell. Stephanie, I would like to point out that good listener Stephanie, who is always involved in the show, either at Extra 106.3, at Front Office Los, at Tug Cowart. She's always involved. She's always, or calls. She said she would come at anybody that disparages the new Little House on the Prairie. She said she'd come after him.
She'll throat punch you.
I think it's exactly what I was going to say. Hit you with a hammer, but it was throat punch.
No. That's a throat punch
Throat
person.
puncher. That's right.
She is, when it comes to karate, she'll give it to you. You will not like how it ends up.
Recommend something for people to watch this weekend that don't have anything. I know it's on the spot, but
man, let's see. So I did the RoboCop documentary. There was the Hulk Hogan documentary that I just finished. Amazon Prime, actually for free. So if you're a Prime subscriber, Masters of the Universe is now on there for free.
Is that the new one?
Yeah.
I just saw that last night when I went and got old Little House on the Prairie.
Interestingly enough, highly rated. I haven't watched it, but I think I'm going to mix that in.
I used to love He-Man. When I was a kid, oh my gosh, I loved He-Man.
Prime has been making it a point to put those type of movies, a few months out, on for free as part of your subscription. So Project Hail Mary started there a few weeks ago, and now Masters of the Universe is right behind it. Again,
Please watch Interstellar, Todd.
Interstellar, yeah.
He's not going to get around to that.
He's got nothing to do.
I got Little House on the Prairie. There's a whole new...
You can take a 2.5 hour break.
No, I can't. But Interstellar is Bryce's and Little House on the Prairie is mine. For Los and Bryce, I'm Tug. Y'all come back now. You hear?
The Morning Extra has you covered until 10 a.m. Then it's Glenn Beck, Clay Travis, and Buck Sexton at noon, and The Kimmer Show taking over at 3, only on Extra 106.3.
It's Toyota's Big One sales event at Marietta Toyota now through August 3rd. And if you commute every day, the 2026 Toyota Camry may be the one to see first. It's now all hybrid with up to 53 miles per gallon city, an easy way to cut fuel stops without giving up comfort. And with 50 Camrys in stock, Marietta Toyota has the selection to help you find the trim and color you actually want. Every new Toyota includes our nationwide lifetime powertrain warranty, limited time and unlimited mileage for as long as you own it. And we've been voted Best of Cobb for 2026, Best New Car Dealership, and Best Service Center. For well-qualified buyers, special financing is available on the new 2026 Camry Hybrid. Lowest